Wow! Look! We actually saw a demon! Ha ha ha! Long Chun was about to greet them, but the other party spoke first, and the first word was a cold mockery. To put it bluntly, a demon is no different from a breeder of cattle and pigs. In other words, the powerful Tsai clan has fallen to the point where it can only reproduce, which is really sad. Wow! You actually came back alive today? Next time, you must work hard and strive to die on the battlefield. Of course, Long Chun did not indulge them, and mocked them directly. There are hundreds of demon clan masters, and their strength is average. If they encounter Luo Yanfeng and others, they will basically be killed with one knife. Looking at their wounds and blood, they should have escaped after encountering the disciples of the Purple Blood clan. According to the rules of the demon clan, if the number of casualties is less than half, and they flee in battle, they will all be executed. Even such a group of demon clan disciples who escaped dared to laugh at Ing Wudao, which shows how low Ing Wudao's status is in the demon clan. It must be said that Ing Wudao is not only powerful, but also has a terrifying ability to endure. If it were Long Chun, he would probably not be able to endure it for a day. Ha ha ha, what does it have to do with you whether we die in battle or not? You don't even have the qualifications to die on the battlefield. Powerful demon laughed. Say that again. Long Chun rolled his eyes. How can it not matter? If you die, I have to work hard to find your mother to sow seeds. How can the bloodline of our demon clan be cut off? You! The powerful demon clan was furious, stretched out his hand to hold the weapon at his waist, and looked like he was going to kill someone. His action was meant to scare people, and the powerful demons next to him actually stepped forward to hold him back. Someone advised, "Forget it, let him take advantage of his mouth. After all, he has several mistresses, and we can't afford to offend him." The scolded strong man gritted his teeth and pointed at Long Chun and said, "Ing Wudao, even though you have someone to support you, in everyone's eyes, you are just a dog that can breed. Ing Wudao is a dog. All of you have more or less blood of the Tsai clan in your body, so you are all dog bastards?" Long Chun said disdainfully. Long Chun did not call himself I, but used Ing Wudao. But the group of people did not hear the clues in their anger. They looked at Long Chun one by one, as if they wanted to bite Long Chun to pieces. "Don't make a fuss. You are still qualified to be so arrogant after losing. Do you think your face is a butt?" The crowd walked and quarreled, and finally came to a huge city gate. An old demon shouted angrily at the door. "Huh? Ing Wudao? Who allowed you to leave the city?" When the old man saw Ing Wudao, his face immediately changed, pointing at Ing Wudao and roaring. Seeing that the old man was targeting Long Chun, those powerful demons were immediately gloating. Long Chun said righteously, "As a member of the demon clan, I also want to contribute to the demon clan, and I also want to go to the battlefield to kill the enemy." Long Chun's expression immediately made the old man laugh. "You are as weak as a little chicken, and you still go to the battlefield to kill the enemy? Ha ha ha." The powerful demons who had quarreled with Long Chun before laughed even more unscrupulously at this time. Long Chun said angrily, "I have no share in going to the battlefield to kill the enemy, and you are unwilling to give me any benefits. What do you want from me?" The old man sneered and said, "You'd better go back and serve your mistresses with peace of mind. Serve them well. If you can really give birth to a child, they will give you some benefits." "You!" Long Chun was so angry that he was shaking all over, and the old man snorted coldly, telling him to go back quickly. If he dared to sneak out of the city again, he would be locked up directly. Obviously, he was also very afraid of Ing Wudao's female masters. After all, this kid was famous for being livable, and there were several powerful female monsters who were very fond of him. The future ruler of the demon clan might be born among them. Although he looked down on Ing Wudao, he did not dare to offend him too much. If one day he blew pillow wind, he might be in trouble. So although he looked down on Long Chun on the surface, he did not pursue his guilt for leaving the city privately in the end. In the words of the human race, leave a line for others so that they can meet again in the future. Long Chun had a gloomy face, but he was smiling in his heart. It was so simple. It seemed easier to get in than imagined. After Long Chun entered the city, the old man immediately called a few confidants and scolded them harshly. The people of the Tsai clan were absolutely not allowed to leave the city. Fortunately, Ing Wudao came back by himself, otherwise, if they were investigated by the higher-ups, no one would be able to escape the responsibility. This was another reason why he did not pursue the responsibility, because if they were investigated, it would be their responsibility. The old man scolded everyone for half an hour, and his saliva almost soaked the group of men like drowned rats before it ended. He also sternly warned them to keep an eye on the people of the Tsai clan. If such a situation happened again, no one would want to live. When the old man of the demon clan scolded his men, Long Chun had already entered the city in a happy mood. The so-called city was just a relatively large tribe. There were not many buildings at all, and the dirt was falling apart. According to the map that Ing Wudao gave him, the center of the city was the entrance to the demon clan's lair. Entering here, Long Chun had no pressure because according to what Ing Wudao said, except for a few special places with his identity, he could pass through unimpeded. Humph! As he was walking, a cold snort suddenly came. He saw a handsome man opposite him, looking at him coldly, and the man was holding a woman's arm. Long Chun looked at the man and couldn't help but be stunned. This man, like Ing Wudao, was also a member of the Tsai clan. And the woman he was holding his arm with made Long Chun shudder. She had a green face and fangs, her nostrils turned outward, and her big scarlet lips almost covered most of her face. I have seen many ugly people, but I have never seen such an ugly one, just like a toad turned into a spirit. However, this woman is a bit ugly, but her aura is very strong, which is not much different from those demon clan strongmen who guard the battlefield alone. Perhaps only those at that level are qualified to enjoy the beautiful men of the Tsai clan. When the man saw Long Chun, he couldn't help but show a little favor. His eyes were full of jealousy and disgust. That look was like a vicious dog baring its teeth, which made Long Chun frown. No wonder Ing Wudao wanted to destroy the entire demon clan. It seems that except for Ing Wudao, all the Tsai clan members have been trained like dogs. Wudao. At this moment, a voice came. Following the voice, Long Chun saw a middle-aged woman. When the middle-aged woman appeared, the woman and the man from the Tsai clan looked panicked and ran away quickly. What shocked Long Chun was that this was a powerful demon from the Divine Emperor level. The woman looked to be in her 40s, but her actual age was probably hundreds or even thousands of times older than she looked. This middle-aged woman had a single horn on her head. Her face was neither pretty nor ugly, but compared to the previous woman, she was as beautiful as a fairy. As soon as this woman appeared, the couple left quickly. Seeing this woman looking him up and down, Long Chun's heart skipped a beat. Could it be that she had revealed some flaws? Come with me. The middle-aged woman actually reached out to pull Long Chun. Long Chun instinctively retracted his hand. The middle-aged woman was stunned, and then smiled. What are you afraid of? It's not the first time. Besides, your friends are all in seclusion. What the hell? Long Chun's heart was filled with 1,000 whistles. This was the first time that Long Chun felt so sympathetic to Ing Wudao's experience. How many people did he have to serve? Just as he was stunned, the middle-aged woman grabbed Long Chun's hand again. At that moment, her face was full of surprise. Wow! The essence is so abundant. The surplus is about to overflow, right? Long Chun. He can use Ing Wudao's breath to cover his own breath, but he can't cover the power of blood and qi. The middle-aged woman instantly sensed Long Chun's blood and qi, which was like the ocean. She didn't doubt Long Chun's identity, and thought that it was because of such a long period of idleness that his blood and qi became full. Being pulled by the middle-aged woman, Long Chun's scalp was about to explode. He couldn't escape even if he wanted to. Long Chun was dragged away by the middle-aged woman. His brain was working rapidly, trying to find a way to get away, but this woman seemed to have a very high status here. Everyone who saw her was scared and hid away. Fuck. Can you still give birth at such an old age? What are you doing with this bullshit? Long Chun cursed in his heart, but he had no way out. Just when Long Chun was anxious, an old man came towards him. When he saw the old man, Long Chun's heart skipped a beat. The old man had amazing demonic energy and strong pressure. He was actually a mid-stage divine emperor. The old man had a cold and majestic face. When he saw the middle-aged woman and Long Chun, he couldn't help but frowned and said, "You Ma, it's time, and you still have the mind to talk about these useless things. The Nest Master has summoned us to a meeting." "Ah? How come I didn't know?" The middle-aged woman was shocked. "Just notified. Let's go," the old man said and left directly, without looking at Long Chun from beginning to end. The middle-aged woman looked at Long Chun with hesitation on her face, as if she was thinking about something. "Nima, you don't want to send a short message, do you?" Long Chun's heart skipped a beat. Finally, the woman gritted her teeth, took out a nameplate from her waist and stuffed it into Long Chun's hand, with a threatening look on her face. "Take my nameplate, go to my cave and wait for me. If I don't see you when I go back, I will tell you all your secrets." After the woman finished speaking, she turned and left, leaving Long Chun alone, holding the nameplate and standing there in a daze. Isn't this too confusing? Long Chun was going crazy. It seemed that Ing Wudao had something on this woman, and Ing Wudao seemed to be using this woman. This is definitely a great god. Long Chun held the nameplate in his hand, speechless. It was definitely not a coincidence that Ing Wudao escaped from the demon's nest without anyone noticing. By the way, nameplate? Long Chun was suddenly overjoyed. He wondered if this nameplate could help him enter the altar directly. Give it a try. Long Chun gritted his teeth and walked straight forward. According to Long Chun's expectations, the high-level demons were in a meeting. He had another nameplate in his hand. Isn't this a godsend? Needless to say, the demons' high-level meeting at this time must be because of the battle with the Purple Blood Clan. For such a big thing, it would take some time to discuss a result or plan. Long Chun didn't care about that much. Not long after he walked forward, he arrived at the center of the city. In the center, there was a huge hole. Entering from the hole was the demon's nest. Unlike other demons, these demons seemed to prefer living underground. After entering the underground, there was another world here. It was like a huge ant cave with various forks in the road. If there was no map of Ing Wudao, Long Chun would be confused. The nest was huge and so was the passage. There were demons coming in and out constantly. As Ing Wudao said, the demons here were a hodgepodge with all kinds of creatures all in strange shapes. However, most of the male demons looked at Long Chun with contempt on their faces, and some even mocked him. When some female demon clan masters saw Long Chun, their eyes lit up. Some even tried to pull him, but Long Chun dodged them. Damn it, this matter must not be known to a third person. Otherwise it will be a disgrace. Long Chun said to himself. Although he encountered some minor troubles while walking in the winding passage, no one would really mess around because Ing Wudao was still well known in the demon clan. This allowed Long Chun to approach the core area without any danger. But when he got here, it became deserted. After walking forward for a while, there was no one around. It was obvious that this was a forbidden area for the demon clan and ordinary people could not approach it. Suddenly, there was a turn, and a gate appeared in front. As soon as Long Chun saw the gate, a cold voice came. The altar is a restricted area. Those who trespass will die. Then a terrifying pressure instantly locked Long Chun, and Long Chun was unable to move. Long Chun was shocked. There was actually a terrifying mid-stage divine emperor guarding here. At the same time, Long Chun thought that when his divine sense probed into this place that day, he sensed a terrifying divine thought. It should be this person. Long Chun couldn't help but take a breath of cold air. The gap between the purple-crowned divine emperor and the ordinary divine emperor was too big. So big that it couldn't be described in words. Long Chun had only encountered divine emperor-level strongmen before entering the heavenly vein profound realm. After entering, he knew that divine emperors were divided into ordinary divine emperors and purple-crowned divine emperors. An ordinary 9th grade divine emperor was basically a scum in front of a 1st grade purple crown divine emperor, and a mid-stage purple crown divine emperor could suppress him and make him unable to move just by pressure. This was the gap. However, facing the lock of the divine emperor, Long Chan said calmly, "I have the nameplate of Lord Umo. I came here for something important." Hearing Long Chan say this, the pressure was slightly relieved, and Long Chan hurriedly took out Umo's nameplate. As soon as the nameplate appeared, a dry big hand stretched out from the void and grabbed the nameplate, and then an old man in a gray robe appeared. The old man in the gray robe was skinny, like a dried corpse, and his eyes were so dry and shriveled that he looked very scary. "Boy, you dare to lie to me. You are looking for death." When the gray-robed old man saw the nameplate in his hand, his face changed and a terrifying pressure came like an overwhelming tidal wave. Facing the fury of the old demon, Long Chan was not panicked. Facing the old man's claws, Long Chan did not even blink. Buzz! Sure enough, the old man's claws stopped before touching Long Chen's forehead. "Old ghost, you actually want to cheat me?" Long Chan sneered in his heart. If it was someone else, because of a guilty conscience, he would definitely be scared to death by him. But Long Chan could sense that he had murderous intent but no killing intention. To put it bluntly, he was just trying to scare people. How could Long Chan be fooled? Seeing Long Chan looking at him expressionlessly, the old man flashed a look of astonishment in his eyes. He wanted to test Long Chan to see if he was plotting something. But even if Long Chan had no guilty conscience, he should not be so calm when facing the oppression of death. "Boy, tell me the truth. What's the matter with this nameplate? This is the natal nameplate, not the token nameplate. Why would Umo give the nameplate to you? Why would she let you come here?" The old demon shouted sternly. Long Chan suddenly realized that there was a problem here. The token nameplate was equivalent to a handwritten order, and the natal nameplate was something that everyone kept close to their body and would not be easily exposed. Facing the old man's questioning, Long Chan still did not panic and said lightly, "You have to ask Lord Umo about this. She ordered me to come here, saying that you will understand what she meant after you see the nameplate." Long Chan directly threw the question to the old demon. The old demon was stunned, and then looked up and down at Long Chan for a long time, and suddenly a hint of enlightenment appeared in his eyes. "She wants to use your colorful wing blood," he just said here, and immediately shut up, with a hint of hesitation in his eyes, and then said coldly, "She is clearly cheating. Why should I let you in and take care of her people? You are also capable, old and young. Serve together. Go back and tell Umo that this way doesn't work here." Hearing this, Long Chan understood that the old man mistakenly thought that Long Chan entered the altar to secretly transfer the colorful wing blood to one of them. That person was Umo's descendant. Everyone was in seclusion in the altar to absorb the essence of purple blood. Judging from the tone of the old man, Ing Wudao also has a relationship with Umo's descendants, so Umo uses her power to give her descendants a special treatment. If Ing Wudao injects his blood essence into Umo's descendants at this time, with the help of the altar, it will be quickly absorbed, and may even awaken the innate magical powers of the Tsai clan, and even worse, it may mutate. In fact, Long Chan didn't say anything, leaving everything to the old man to figure out. Now hearing the old man sneer, Long Chan knows that this old man at least no longer doubts his identity. If he sneaks up at this time and stabs the charged dagger into his body, Long Chan threatens him at that time, and Long Chan doesn't believe that he will choose to die with him. In addition, he has a relationship with Umo, and this old man will definitely blame Umo for his hatred, and will never die with a small Tiansheng like him. Thinking of this, Long Chan smiled. When he smiled, the old man's face suddenly darkened. He thought Long Chan was laughing at him. Just as he was about to get angry, Long Chan said, "What you said was within Lady Uma's expectations. She said that as long as you make it convenient for her, she will agree to all your conditions. Remember, everything." Long Chan was talking nonsense. The dagger had already quietly appeared in his sleeve, but the old man was attracted by Long Chan's words and didn't notice his actions at all. "Well, in that case, why are you so close to me? Get away. The old man suddenly spoke while he was thinking. However, when he saw that Long Chun was only 3 feet away from him, he could not help but shout. Originally, Long Chun had been secretly accumulating strength and was about to make a move, but the old man's words almost made Long Chen's waist slip. Nima, is this okay? Long Chen never thought that the old man would agree. It seemed that the old man also had something to ask of Umo, so he agreed. Long Chun took a step back and smiled. Isn't it because I am used to close contact with Lord Umo? It's a misunderstanding. The old man felt a chill and said angrily, Shut your stinky mouth and don't be so playful with me. You only have 1 stick of incense. Finish your work and get out quickly. Suddenly, the old man remembered something and said, Swear on your demon soul that you will not mention this to anyone. Swear on the demon soul? How can I do this? But this did not bother Long Chen. Long Chun said calmly, Do you think this is possible? Don't mention it to anyone? What about Lord Umo? And, with Lord Umo's natal nameplate here, what kind of bullshit oath do we need to make? The old man seemed to think it made sense. He pondered for a moment and pressed his big hand on the stone door. The runes on the stone door flowed and formed a vortex. Hurry up and go in. Remember, you only have 1 stick of incense. Without waiting for Long Chun to walk over, the old man grabbed Long Chen's shoulders and threw him into the vortex. Ha! The space in front of Long Chun was distorted, and he appeared on an altar. This altar was the altar that Long Chun saw last time when he used his spiritual sense to go upstream. However, unlike last time, there were only dozens of bags like gallbladders on the altar, but now there are thousands of them. Originally, there was a largest one in the middle, but now it seems that the dozens in the middle are all about the same size. The other bags were slightly smaller, and they should have been added later. The demons saw that the Purple Blood Clan had so many people and sufficient purple blood power, so they added some powerful demons. The largest batch on the altar was also the earliest batch, and should be the strongest among the demons. After entering the altar, Long Chun found that the old man's consciousness had been locked on him, and he couldn't help but secretly complain. With so many bags, how could he tell which one was the descendant of Umo? The 7th one to the right in the middle, hurry up. Fortunately, the old man spoke at this time because all the prodigies were wrapped in bags, and because he had a list of positions in his hand, only he could find whose position, and it was normal that Long Chun couldn't find it. If Long Chun found it right away, he would be suspicious. Under the guidance of the old man, Long Chun quickly found the bag, and then pretended to press 1 hand on it, while stimulating the aura of Ing Wudao's nameplate. At least on the outside, it seemed to be quite true. At this moment, Long Chun discovered that the old man's consciousness had disappeared. It was obvious that he only wanted to send Long Chen in, and he didn't care about anything else. As for Long Chen's success or failure, it had nothing to do with him. Wow! Such a rich blood energy! Just as Long Chun wanted to take a good look at the structure of the altar, he heard the surprised and greedy voice of Longu Sheiyue. Xieyu, are you awake? Long Chun said with some surprise. In the last battle in Tianmai Shenjing, Long Chun killed countless powerful enemies. Longu Sheiyue absorbed endless blood souls. It told Long Chun that it might have another breakthrough. In order to let Longu Sheiyue break through with peace of mind, Long Chun did not disturb it again. Now Longu Sheiyue woke up automatically. It's true that someone sent a pillow when I was dozing off. I have been in seclusion for a while and found that the current strength is far from enough for me to break through. Then you found such a feng shui treasure land. Longu Sheiyue shouted excitedly. Since Longu Sheiyue unlocked the first seal and entered the state of the waning moon, it seemed to have regained some consciousness, and then it has been trying to unlock the second seal. Because unlocking the second seal requires it to comprehend the seal by itself, so after unlocking the seal for the first time, Longu Sheiyue did not fight side by side with Long Chun seriously. The main reason is that Long Chun himself is strong enough and can defeat the enemy without too much assistance from it. This made Longu Sheiyue very unhappy. It likes to be relied on and doesn't like the feeling of being dispensable, because it would have no sense of existence. Now Long Chun not only has the Chenkuan Cauldron, but also the Fantian Seal and the Yaoyue Cauldron. The two of them can basically stand on their own, especially the Sheshue Fan Tian seal, which is extremely eye-catching in the Tianmai Shenjing, which makes Longu Sheyue a little unhappy. Others can be awesome, but they can't steal its limelight. It wants to be the boss, not a supporting role, so it is anxious to unlock the second seal. However, during the retreat, it touched the threshold of the second seal and basically mastered the method, but found that the power it had accumulated was not even qualified to try. Longu Sheyue was so angry that he had to give up the retreat. But when he woke up, he found that Longchen was actually in the altar. A Feng Shui treasure land? What do you mean? Longchen was shocked. Is there any need to ask this? Don't you often say that thieves never leave empty-handed? Since you are here, take everything you can take away, Longu Sheyue said with a grin. Wait, you haven't figured out the situation yet. This is the lair of the demon clan. Longchen hurriedly used the shortest words to let Longu Xie, you understand his current situation. Oh my god! Is it so dangerous? Longu Xie was also surprised. Longchen came to the lair of the demon clan alone. There was a mid-stage purple crown emperor guarding the door. There were many more terrifying beings of this level in the demon clan. If he was discovered, he would be completely finished. Then why did you come here? Longu Xie asked. I don't know what I'm here for. I just came to take a look and do whatever I can. Longchen said. In fact, he was also a little confused. He didn't know what he could do here, but Ing Wudao gave him such a chance. If he didn't come, he would be unwilling, so he came. I originally planned to ask Senior Qian Kuinding to modify the runes on the charging artifact. Leave the dagger here before going out, set a timer, and let it explode automatically after I leave the demon clan's lair. Longchen said. This was a plan he had envisioned. According to Ing Wudao, once the demons here were baptized and strengthened by the altar, their strength would become extremely terrifying. If it were Longchen himself, he would naturally want to fight with such a strong man. But he could not put the entire Purple Blood clan in danger for his own competitive spirit. If his carelessness caused large-scale casualties among the Purple Blood clan, Longchen would feel uncomfortable. He dared not joke with the lives of the Luo family disciples. Don't, this is too wasteful. I'll share something with you, Longu Sheyue said. As soon as it finished speaking, a blood-red world emerged in Longchen's mind. This world slowly shrank, and Longchen realized that it was actually a huge heart. Is this where the altar is? Longchen's heart was pounding. The altar is in this heart. According to my memory, it should be the heart of a troll. It is a world of its own. It seems to be very famous in the Chaos era. It is a hatching artifact. Contains endless blood power. You leave me here so that the power it absorbs and its own power will all be mine. Longu Sheyue shouted excitedly. Longchen could not imagine that this altar was actually in a heart. A heart can be a world of its own. How powerful is the owner of this heart? The foundation of the Chaos Demon Clan is indeed amazing. Longchen was about to speak, and suddenly a strange fluctuation came from Longchen's mind. Longchen was stunned. This was Chen Kuinding using its unique soul power to transmit a message to him. You have to be careful. Longu Sheyue has an amazing origin and cannot be completely trusted. Longchen was stunned. Chen Kuinding used its unique soul fluctuation to transmit a message to him in order to hide it from Longu Sheyue. This was the first time. When I first saw it, I knew it, but there was no information about it in my memory, as if an invisible force had erased that part of my memory. Therefore, I am always wary of it. If you leave it here alone, it will absorb such a huge amount of blood and soul power, and it is very likely to escape your control. Whether you will be friends or enemies in the future is still unknown, so you have to think it over. The voice of Chen Kuinding was solemn. Longchen's heart trembled. Chen Kuinding rarely told him something so seriously, and he was talking about Longu Sheyue, who had the closest relationship with him. With Chen Kuinding's maturity and prudentness, there are many things that it would not say easily. It said it in such a serious tone, which proved that it had to say it. Or you can ask Lao Long for advice. Chen Kuinding said. Thank you for reminding me, Senior. I understand that you are doing this for my own good. But Longu Sheyue once fought side by side with me, sharing life and death. and I am willing to believe in it forever. Long Chen said, "You have to think it over. I am afraid that its origin will exceed your imagination. It may be related to the battle of destruction of the 9 heavens and 10 earths." Chen Kuanding said seriously. Without thinking, Long Chen responded directly, "Its origin has nothing to do with me. It once gave its life to me, so I can entrust my life to it. Since I have chosen to believe, I will never doubt it. If one day it betrays me, that is its business, and I will never betray anyone." Long Chen's answer was decisive and firm. He then directly cut off the connection with Chen Kuanding and said to Long Guxiayu, "Since you have decided, I will using Wu Dao's breath to send you into this guy's body. He doesn't have much breath to begin with, so take it easy. After entering, kill the guy inside directly and use her breath to cover yourself. Don't reveal the secret, otherwise we will be finished." "Don't worry," the dragon bone evil moon responded. Long Chen nodded, and the demonic energy was activated. The colorful divine light surged, and then the dragon bone evil moon, which shrank like a dagger, directly pierced the bag. The bag trembled violently, and then it was silent and motionless. Everything went very smoothly. The guy inside didn't even have a chance to struggle, and was killed by the dragon bone evil moon, and her breath was controlled to successfully conceal herself. "The time is up. Come out." At this moment, the old demon shouted coldly, and Long Chen's figure was directly pulled out. Inside the altar, the small wound on the bag healed quickly, and everything was done without anyone noticing. "This Chenkuan broken cauldron. Dare to say bad things about me, you wait for me, sooner or later I will chop you up again." "Huh? Wait, why do you say again? Have I chopped it up?" the dragon bone evil moon in the bag said to itself with a gloomy voice. It turned out that the secret conversation between the Chenkuan cauldron and Long Chen was heard by it. "Give it to me." "What do you want to give you?" the old man asked coldly when he saw Long Chen reaching out to him. "Of course it's Lord Yumo's natal nameplate. You just recorded everything with the image jade. Is there any point in keeping the nameplate?" Long Chen said lightly. "How do you know?" The old man was surprised. He didn't expect that all his little actions were seen by Long Chen. "Okay, we are so old now. Can't we communicate more efficiently? Give me the nameplate and I can go back to report. As for the matter between you and Lord Umo, I have no right to ask. I just need to do what Lord Umo told me to do," Long Chen said. The old man hesitated for a moment. What Long Chen said was right. He had been careful just now and recorded everything with the image jade. The evidence was irrefutable. He didn't have to worry about Umo denying it. In the end, Long Chen took Umo's natal nameplate and walked out. When he left the old man's sight, Long Chen let out a long breath. In front of the mid-stage purple-crowned divine emperor, the pressure was really great. Long Chen's forehead was sweating. When he came out just now, Long Chen deliberately looked pale, and his demonic energy was reduced. He did everything to the extreme, fearing that there would be a loophole. Now that he has accomplished his mission and got Umo's nameplate, Long Chen originally wanted to try whether he could use this nameplate to stroll around the demon clan's treasure house. But now that Long Guxiayu has successfully infiltrated the altar, he should stop while he is ahead, so as not to reveal his flaws and lose all his previous efforts. On the other hand, Long Chen was not too sure about Luo Yanfeng and others. Now they are in a period of rapid growth. This time they are exhausted, and they will only need a few hours to step into the battlefield again. The high-level demon clan is in a meeting, and there may be some changes on the battlefield. This must be prevented. In addition, Long Chen entered the demon clan's nest and was far away from the battlefield. The heavenly Dao tree was out of the radiation range, so he could not collect the heavenly Dao fruit. This was also a big loss for the Luo family. Long Chen left the underground nest and came to Tuqing. When he came to the gate of Tuqing again, he saw the old gatekeeper again. The old man saw Long Chen wandering here again. His face suddenly changed. Just as he was about to curse, Long Chen suddenly showed a nameplate and shook it at him. "Old Deng, I am a person of status now. If you dare to scold me, Be careful that I will slap you in the face. You! The old man was shocked and angry. He recognized this natal nameplate, which meant that he could not control Long Chun. After all, he was just a gatekeeper, not like the man guarding the altar who was in a high position and power. He could not afford to offend anyone with such a nameplate. What do you mean by you? I'm going to take a walk again. I have Lord Yuma as a guarantor. What are you afraid of? Get out of here and don't delay me from going to the battlefield to kill the enemy and make achievements. Long Chun snorted coldly and walked out of the city in front of him. Damn it, you are just someone else's plaything. What's the point of being so arrogant? What do you think you are? Seeing Long Chen's arrogant back going away, the old man spitted fiercely and cursed viciously. Pa! He still felt unsatisfied after cursing. Seeing a demon disciple who had just returned from the battlefield, he slapped him in the face, and the demon disciple was slapped away. The old demon roared, "Line up! Come one by one! What are you grabbing?" The people around him shrank their necks in fear. If you want to beat someone up, just vent your anger? He is the only one around, why line up? Pa! Long Chun slapped, and a demon 13 veins heavenly saint was knocked to the ground by Long Chen's palm. What the hell are you looking at? Are you provoking me? Someone provoked Long Chun before, and Long Chun fought back with his mouth. Now that it's out, who dares to indulge his bad habits? When passing by a team, someone just showed contempt and was knocked down by a slap. You little beast, you're looking for. The powerful demon was knocked down and became furious, just as he stood up. Puff! A finger pierced through his forehead, and the man's body instantly fell to the ground, killed by a single blow. Seeing this, the others could not help but be shocked and angry. Who could have thought that Ng Wudao, who only knew how to please women and was a well-known softie, would dare to kill people? A bunch of idiots. You are lucky that this place is too close to the city, otherwise none of you would survive. Long Chun pointed at these dumbfounded demon disciples with his finger, snorted coldly, and left. Long Chun did not dare to make too much noise here. After all, the demons were holding a meeting, and many masters gathered. If he angered them, it would be all over. Long Chen's domineering performance shocked the group of people. It was not until Long Chun walked away that they reacted and ran straight to the city gate with the man's body. My lord, it's not good. Ng Wudao went to the battlefield and killed us. They saw the old man guarding the city gate and shouted loudly. Shut the fuck up. Don't mention that little bastard to me. Get out of here. When Ng Wudao was mentioned, the anger he had just suppressed suddenly rose up again, and he cursed at the group of people. The group of people were scolded inexplicably, and the leader said with a bitter face, Sir, but he killed someone from our clan? The old man snorted coldly. Go back and report to your master. If he wants, go and settle the score with UMO. Get out of here. Don't bother me. The old man waved his hand in annoyance. An ordinary disciple would not cause the confrontation between the two branches of the demon clan. If you kill your neighbor's dog, your neighbor may turn against you. But if you step on an ant in your neighbor's house, who will care about such a thing? The demon clan is endlessly powerful, and it is taking this opportunity to eliminate most of the people and keep the real elites. No one cares about the life and death of these trash. When he heard UMO, the man was immediately frightened. UMO was a famous ruthless person in the demon clan. Among the strong men of the same level, there were few who were not afraid of her. The group of people left with the corpse in disgrace, while UMO, who was in the meeting, had no idea that a huge black pot had been firmly pinned on her. While she was in the meeting, she looked serious on the surface, but she was thinking about how to turn the tide with Ng Wudao. The meeting place was a cave, where hundreds of high-ranking demons sat on the ground. The leader was a three-eyed old man with a dignified face. In his third eye, there was a faint flash of endless thunder, and the pressure was amazing. Everyone, please express your attitude, said the three-eyed old man. Since we have already figured out the basic strength of the Purple Blood Clan, our strength is far greater than theirs by 10 times. There is no need to continue to test them so as not to cause trouble. If they have contacted other Purple Blood clan, they will have helpers, and it may not be so easy for us to take action again. As the saying goes, opportunity is second to none, and it is an eternal truth that the first to strike is the strongest. A short and fat old demon said, I agree. In order to avoid any more trouble, we should come out in full force and crush the opponent violently without giving them any chance to breathe. Another powerful demon followed suit. In addition, there is another problem, that is the matter of the Tsai clan. The three-eyed old man said. When the Tsai clan was mentioned, everyone whispered to each other. Someone said loudly, the Tsai clan must not be left alive. They must all be killed. No evidence can be left. Now that the 9 heavens are connected, if the Tsai clan knows the secret, we will surely die. Second. Agree. Almost everyone agreed. Although Umo was a little reluctant, she could only nod. In the end, almost all votes were passed to kill all the Tsai clan and cover up the history. Oh no! Just an hour ago, Ing Wudao took the natal nameplate of Lord Umo and ran away. At this moment, news came, and the whole venue was instantly boiling. This. Umo's face turned pale. I just asked him to take the nameplate back to my cave and wait for me. Seeing that everyone was looking at her, Umo turned pale with fear. Hurry up and give the order to block the entire battlefield, someone shouted. The three-eyed old man of the demon clan had a gloomy face. It's too late. In an hour, he would have escaped far away. No, anyone on the battlefield will stop him when they see him. It may be too late to give the order now. The man said unwillingly. He has Umo's nameplate. Who dares to stop him? If someone dares to stop him, how can he get out of the city? The three-eyed old man of the demon clan said with a gloomy face. What should we do? At this time, everyone was like ants on a hot pot. The escape of Ing Wudao made everyone restless. If Ing Wudao found the Tsai clan and told them the truth of history, the consequences would be something they could not bear. What else can we do? We can only hope that he will die at the hands of the Zishua clan. The three-eyed old man said with a gloomy face. In fact, there is no need to worry. At this time, a thin and small figure like a child stood up in the corner and said, This is a branch of the shadow demons, good at assassination and calculation, and the IQ of this clan is very high. When they heard him speak, everyone's eyes lit up, and someone hurriedly said, I would like to hear the details. The man said lightly, First, Ing Wudao's strength is average, and his body has long been hollowed out. The probability of him passing through the blockade of the Purple Blood clan and leaving is not high. Second, even if he leaves, it will not have any impact on us. We are an alliance, not a single race. What do you mean? Everyone was puzzled. The man continued, To put it bluntly, after this battle, when all the benefits are reaped, everyone will return to their families and go their separate ways. Even if Ing Wudao escapes, who can he point to? Each of our clans has countless branches, and it would be like looking for a needle in a haystack for them to look for us. Moreover, the Tsai clan also has countless branches, and it is unknown whether anyone will believe Ing Wudao's words. Even if they are willing to believe, who is willing to stand up for him and who can they find to stand up for him? Besides, this matter is not a glorious thing for the Tsai clan. If Ing Wudao is smart enough, he should keep this secret to himself. Because once it is set out, his life will be in danger. Compared to seeking revenge on us, it should be easier to kill Ing Wudao. As long as Ing Wudao dies, no one will know about it, and we can't publicize it openly, and eventually it will sink into the sea. So I say that everyone's anxiety is meaningless at all. It's better to get in good shape to deal with the Zishua clan. Seconds, your brain is really too smart, ha ha ha. It seems that we really have nothing to worry about. Yes, there is no need to worry at all. After this battle, we will also go to trace our roots. As long as we don't tell anyone, who can know our secret? Even if they know, what can they do? Do they, the Tsai clan, still have any shame? If they do, they have to pretend that nothing happened. Ha ha ha. Everyone couldn't help laughing when they thought of this. It was really a false alarm just now. The three-eyed old man also nodded. The man's analysis was very good. They really didn't need to worry too much. And Yumo's hanging heart was finally put down. Otherwise, she would have to bear the wrath of the entire alliance alone, and she and her people would be finished. Okay. Don't worry about Ing Wudao, let alone chase him, and don't attract the attention of the Zishua clan. After the meeting, all members of the Tsai clan will be executed, and no traces will be left. For the rest, proceed according to the original plan. The three-eyed old man of the demon clan gave the order directly, and everyone dispersed immediately. At that moment, the atmosphere in the demon clan's lair became tense in an instant. Long Chun, are you really confident in Longu Shewe? This time, it was not Shenkuan Ding's old story that was brought up again, but the Chaos Dragon Emperor's divine thoughts. Long Chun was silent for a while and then said, I believe it will not betray me. Whether it is righteous or evil, it doesn't matter to me. No matter what kind of past it has, I don't care what it has done. If it can treat me sincerely, I can also sacrifice my life for it. Very good. Unexpectedly, the Chaos Dragon Emperor seemed to be very relieved. In this regard, the Chaos Dragon Emperor's point of view seemed to be completely different from Shenkuan Ding. Then the Chaos Dragon Emperor fell silent. Long Chun wanted to ask it about the situation of the Dragon Blood Legion and the Dragon Clan, but the Chaos Dragon Emperor had already disconnected from his divine thoughts. The Chaos Dragon Emperor's communication with Long Chun also avoided Shenkuan Ding, which made Long Chun a little confused. Now, there seemed to be a lot of relationships between Chaos Dragon Emperor, Shenkuan Ding and Longu Shewe that he couldn't figure out. However, no matter what, Longu Shewe was still Longu Shewe. It had never changed, so Long Chun's heart towards it would never change. When Long Chun held it, one man and one sword, their souls were connected. They were partners in life and death. Long Chun couldn't doubt it. Long Chun also realized that Longu Shewe's origin must be unusual, but it had nothing to do with him. He could even entrust his life to the other party, so would he care about these? Shenkuan Ding was Shenkuan Ding after all. It was a divine artifact. It might not understand human emotions, but Chaos Dragon Emperor could read Long Chun's heart. With the support of Chaos Dragon Emperor, Long Chun felt much more comfortable. He felt a little embarrassed for rejecting Shenkuan Ding. Although Shenkuan Ding had recognized him as the master, everything was based on Long Chun's will, but Long Chun always respected it as a senior and rarely went against its ideas. However, this time Long Chun really couldn't give in. Damn it! Why are you here again? As Long Chun was walking, he suddenly heard a roar from the front. What Long Chun didn't expect was that he was walking in the general direction, but he actually ran into the demon monster holding the giant sword again. When Long Chun came in, he used him to drive away himself in the opposite direction, so that he could easily sneak into the demon's lair. The demon monster holding the giant sword saw Long Chun again, and the giant sword pointed directly at Long Chun, and the fierce murderous aura instantly locked Long Chun. But Long Chun ignored his murderous aura and walked straight towards him. The demon monster was immediately furious and took a step forward to teach Long Chun a lesson. Ha! However, as soon as he moved, Long Chun raised his hand and threw out Yumo's natal nameplate. Pa! The demon monster was startled. He naturally recognized the token belonging to the highest level of the demon clan, and directly reached out to take it. When he saw the exclusive magic pattern on it, he immediately recognized who the owner of the nameplate was. Puff! However, just as he was identifying the nameplate, a sword light flashed across his throat, and a big hand holding his head walked towards the direction of the Purple Blood Clan. Puff! The headless corpse fell to the ground, still holding the nameplate tightly in its hand, and Long Chun had already carried his head away. Buzz! Long Chun restored his own dress and just hung his own nameplate around his waist, when suddenly the nameplate on his waist flashed rapidly. Not good! Long Chun's face changed, and the thunder wings behind him spread out, and he rushed away like a flash of lightning. The nameplates on the waist flashed rapidly, indicating that Luo Yanfeng and others were in a fierce battle. When Luo Yanfeng pulled Long Chun into the team, their nameplates were tied together. If they were separated on the battlefield, it would be easier to find each other's position, which could save lives at a critical moment. Now the nameplates flashed rapidly, indicating that Luo Yanfeng and others were in a crazy battle. Such intense flashing meant that they were already burning the power of the dragon vein. Long Chun had warned Luo Yanfeng and others not to burn the power of the dragon vein easily. It was the last resort. Don't use it easily unless it was absolutely necessary. In addition, even if it was used as a last resort, you must kill the opponent in the shortest possible time and return to normal state. Don't indulge in the improvement brought by burning the dragon vein, let alone rely too much on it. Because once they rely too much on a certain ability, the awakening speed of their other abilities will slow down, stagnate, or even regress. Ha! Long Chen's figure passed through the void, flying as fast as lightning. Countless Demon Clan strongmen had just sensed Long Chen's breath, and Long Chun had already flown in front of them, and they didn't even have a chance to attack. Luo Yanfeng, this time next year will be your death anniversary. It's a pity that Long Chun, that beast, has gone away. Otherwise, today would have been a perfect day. Bai Yingxue looked at Luo Yanfeng and others with a gloomy face, with a bloody smile on her lips. Now Luo Yanfeng and others were besieged by tens of thousands of Bai family masters. The Bai family seemed to have gone crazy. These tens of thousands of masters were all the top elites of the Bai family. All of them were 13 veins of heavenly saints. The most important thing was that they had completed the totem blessing and were amazingly powerful. Luo Yanfeng and others were surrounded by the Bai family as soon as they arrived at the predetermined position on the battlefield. It seemed that everyone's every move was under the control of the Bai family. They used the formation to cut off their distress signal, and Luo Yanfeng and others instantly became isolated. Kill all the bastards of the Luo family. As long as they are killed, the Luo family will never recover from this. The disciples of the Bai family faced the disciples of the Luo family, like jackals with ferocious faces, waving their weapons and rushing madly. Boom, boom, boom. But what they didn't expect was that the disciples of the Luo family were stronger than they thought. With the blessing of the formation, the disciples of the Luo family actually blocked their charge several times. However, with such a fierce attack, nearly 100 disciples of the Luo family were killed, while thousands of people of the Bai family died. Seeing the disciples of the Luo family being killed, Luo Yanfeng and others were furious. He wanted to rush out and kill Bai Yingxue. But if he left, the formation would not be able to maintain its strongest power, and it would not be able to withstand the opponent's impact, which would bring greater casualties. What if he killed Bai Yingxue at that time? Everyone was gone, and he was the only one left. What's the point? Bai Yingxue, you bitch, we shouldn't have let you go in the first place. Luo Ying roared. What? Do you still want me to be grateful? Well, for the fact that you didn't embarrass me last time, I will make you die without a complete corpse. Ha ha ha. Bai Yingxue sneered. Bai Yingxue stood outside the battlefield, watching the battle with the other 4 top masters of the Luo family. They did not take action directly. Forget it, don't wait any longer. Long Chen hasn't shown up yet, so he probably won't show up. To avoid any more trouble, we must kill them all quickly. We also need to disguise the battlefield and put the blame on the Demon Clan, which takes time. At this time, a burly man from the Bai family spoke up. I think that's the way it should be. It doesn't matter if we fail to kill Long Chen. There will always be a chance next time. The higher-ups don't give us much time, so we must be careful and not make any mistakes. Another tall and thin man also said, obviously agreeing with that man's statement. But the last man with pockmarks on his face said, I don't think it matters. Since we have completely torn our faces with the Luo family, as long as we kill these elites from the Luo family, our Bai family will be the only one in the future. Isn't it up to us to decide everything? But this Long Chun, we can't let him run away. He dares to humiliate our Bai family like this. We must tear him into pieces and grind his bones to dust. This may be our only chance to kill Longchen. I think we might as well wait a little longer. Maybe Longchen is on his way. These three people, like Bai Yingxue, are the strongest monsters hidden by the Bai family. The strong one is called Bida, the tall and thin one is called Bai Yong, and the one with pockmarks on his face has a better name, Bai Tianxing. The four of them are well known in the Purple Blood Clan, but their strength has been hidden by the Bai family. Except for a few senior members of the Bai family, no one knows their true strength. At this time, the four people looked down at the battlefield with calm expressions, as if everything was under control and they were not in a hurry. As for the dead disciples of the Bai family, they were even more indifferent. Bai Yingxue said, "In fact, I think the higher-ups are too cautious. The bloodline of the Luo family is not as strong as the legend says. I only need one person to kill them all." Bai Tianxing shook his head and said, "The head of the family said that the blood of the Luo family is a slow-heating bloodline. It does not have strong explosive power, but it has amazing potential. Once their blood begins to awaken, our Bai family will inevitably be suppressed by them in the future. You have also seen that the potential of these guys seems to have been activated. We really can't give them the opportunity to grow." Boom, boom, boom. The Bai family disciples below were still rushing and killing frantically, and the Luo family disciples fought back desperately. The two sides fought with swords and knives, and people kept falling down. The purple blood infected the earth. Brothers and sisters, I'm afraid we are no longer lucky today. The strong men of the Bai family have come out in full force. We can't wait like this any longer. They used us as bait to lure and kill Longchen. We must not let them succeed. If we die, Longchen will definitely avenge us, but if Longchen comes, he will definitely die with us. Do you understand what I mean? Luo Yanfeng shouted to Luo Ying and the others. At this time, they all realized that the three people with Bai Yingxue were terrifyingly strong, and they came here just to kill Longchen. If they died, Longchen would avenge them. If they were alive, Longchen would come, and he would never abandon them and run away. Brother Yanfeng, the happiest thing in my life is that I have met you and a peerless genius like Longchen. I have no regrets in this life. Brothers, Luo Jiang will go first. Luo Jiang roared. Boom! The moment the dragon vein burned, Luo Jiang's breath instantly erupted like a volcano. No one noticed that there was a purple dragon pattern quietly flashing in his pupils. Brother Luo Jiang, wait for me. We brothers will go on the road together, and we won't be afraid of loneliness. The strong men in the Luo family team also roared. The power of the dragon veins burned, and they were fearless at this time, facing death. Kill! Luo Yanfeng and others roared at the same time. They gave up defense and formation like violent beasts wanting to kill more enemies before dying. Puff, puff, puff. When the Luo family disciples went wild, people were shocked to find that the power of the Luo family disciples suddenly increased several times, and the Bai family disciples were chopped to pieces, and the situation was instantly out of control. Bai Yingxue and others were shocked. They didn't expect that the blood of the Luo family disciples who had abandoned the fear of death seemed to awaken again. We can't wait any longer. Let's kill them together, and we must not let any of them escape. Bai Yingxue exclaimed. Bitch, I will drag you down with me before I die. Suddenly there was a roar, like a thunder, and the tall figure of Luo Yanfeng appeared. He seemed to be possessed by the god of war, and he slashed at Bai Yingxue with a sword. One strike to kill. Purple blood sky blade. Luo Yanfeng roared, his whole body burning with purple flames, murderous intent soaring into the sky, like a god of fire. The broadsword in his hand slashed down. The violent divine brilliance burned the entire sky. Bai Yingxue was locked by Luo Yanfeng's attack, and she couldn't help but be shocked. She had never taken Luo Yanfeng seriously, because in her cognition, there was a dimensional gap between Luo Yanfeng and her. Just a few months ago, she had seen Luo Yanfeng's battle. To her, Luo Yanfeng's battle was just a child's trick. However, in such a short time he could actually lock her tightly through attack. Facing Luo Yanfeng's violent attack, she had to take it hard. Let me do it. Bai Yingxue was about to make a move, and the burly Bai Ta, who was like an iron tower, took a step forward and blocked in front of Bai Yingxue, also holding a huge broadsword in his hand. 13 dragon veins were burning around him. Veins on his arms were bulging, runes emerged. His arms suddenly became thicker, and he slashed at Luo Yanfeng with a sword. Boom! The two broadswords slashed together, and the purple divine light infected the sky. Bida groaned and took 3 steps back. Luo Yanfeng spurted out a mouthful of blood, and he couldn't hold the broadsword in his hand. He was blown away with his weapon. Bida's face changed. He was originally known for his strength. He was full of divine power and brave enough to be brave in the whole clan. And this fight with Luo Yanfeng seemed to be a complete victory, but in fact it was only a draw at most. Because Luo Yanfeng had consumed a lot of precious physical strength to maintain the formation before. He was no longer in his prime at this time, but he was able to fight him so hard that his blood was surging and he couldn't stand steadily. This person can't be left. Bida's eyes showed a fierce look. This guy's growth rate was too amazing. If it continued like this, it wouldn't be long before they would be surpassed. At this time, he finally understood why the top leaders were so afraid of Luo Yanfeng and others. This growth rate was too scary. Die! Bida took a step forward. Purple divine light surged, and he rushed towards Luo Yanfeng like lightning, slashing at Luo Yanfeng's head with a sword. At this time, most of Luo Yanfeng's bones were shattered. His breath was chaotic, and he couldn't dodge at all. But at this time, he was calm instead. He looked at Luo Jiang and others who were still fighting madly in the distance, and a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. What nonsense are you talking about? I am the eldest brother, so naturally I will go first. How can I let you get ahead? He watched Bida with a fierce face coming to kill him, watching his broadsword slowly slashing towards his face. He was not afraid and did not close his eyes. Even in the face of death, he could not retreat. This was taught to him by Longchen. Snap! Just when the broadsword's blade was less than an inch away from Luo Yanfeng's forehead, a big hand covered with purple runes firmly grasped the blade. What? When he saw the owner of the big hand, Bida's pupils shrank suddenly. Long Chun. The Luo family disciples saw that figure and couldn't help but shout excitedly, but Luo Ying and others were terrified and shouted loudly. Long Chun, run away. This is a trap. At this time, Long Chen's face was gloomy, and black spots kept emerging in his eyes. Endless murderous aura was gushing out, and even because of extreme anger, his body was shaking constantly. He still underestimated the insidiousness and shamelessness of the Bai family, and even more underestimated their courage and stupidity. So many people attacked at the same time, leaving no room for maneuver. Originally, Long Chun thought that after experiencing the Bai Wanan incident, the Bai family would be restrained. Even if they were restrained, even if there was a conflict, it would be the disciples fighting privately. However, he was wrong. He underestimated the ruthlessness of the Bai family. The Bai family saw that Luo Yanfeng and his team had embarked on the road of awakening, so they wanted to eliminate them all at all costs. Long Chun. Looking at Long Chen's back, Luo Yanfeng was excited and sad. At this moment, he didn't want to see Long Chun appear the most. Even if he attacked with all his strength, he couldn't hurt Bida at all. The Bai family sent out 4 strong men of this level just to kill Long Chen. Tick-tick. Purple blood dripped along Long Chen's palm. Although Long Chun blocked Bida's sword, Long Chen's palm was also injured. Form a formation. Long Chen shouted and gave the order directly. Luo Ying, Luo Jiang, Zimo and others immediately gave up rushing out and directly joined the team behind them to form a formation again. Ha ha ha, Long Chen. You are finally here. Since you are here, you should be prepared to die. Struggling is futile. Bida looked at Long Chun with a ferocious grin in his eyes. Who? Just then, Bai Yingxue, Bai Yong, Bai Tianqing and Bai Ta surrounded Long Chun from 4 directions. Just as they were about to surround him, Long Chun waved his hand, and Luo Yanfeng behind Long Chun was directly sent into the Luo family team. Brother Yanfeng, what should we do now? Luo Ying saw Long Chun surrounded by 4 people, and she was very anxious. At this time, she would rather die than have Long Chun come to rescue her. Buy me some time. Luo Yanfeng was also in a state of confusion. His blood was churning and he had not yet stabilized. He needed to adjust before he could fight again. What else can we do? At worst, we will die together. With so many of us, are we afraid of being lonely on the road to the underworld? Luo Jiang shouted. He had already held the determination to die. He had just rushed all the way and killed dozens of elite strongmen of the Bai family. He had already done enough and was very satisfied. Who? Suddenly, Long Chun pushed with his hand, and a huge force came. Bai Ta was pushed back several steps. Every time he retreated a step, the space under his feet made a crackling sound, and spider web-like cracks appeared. Buzz! However, what everyone did not expect was that the heavenly dragon chi around Long Chun disappeared and was collected by him. What? Knowing that struggling is useless, have you given up resistance? If so, just kill yourself, and I can consider leaving you a whole body. Bai Yingxue sneered. They were stunned by Long Chen's action, but they mocked on the surface. But they were also a little nervous in their hearts, and did not dare to be careless at all, because Long Chun just caught Bai Ta's sword with his bare hands, which was too amazing. You are too despicable and stupid. You Bai family will pay a heavy price for this. Long Chun said with a gloomy face. A heavy price? Ha ha ha, who said that? Even the old patriarch doesn't have the courage to say this, right? Bai Tianxing laughed. I said it. Long Chun said word by word. Ha ha ha. Are you crazy, and start talking nonsense? Bai Tianxing laughed. I, Long Chun, have never said an empty word in my life. But unfortunately, you may not have the chance to witness it. Long Chen's voice turned cold. He slowly opened his big hand. The wound on his palm slowly healed. He looked at his palm, and said to himself, my purple blood comes from my mother. I can't use the power of purple blood to slaughter my mother's people. That would be a blasphemy to her. Purple dragon battle body. Open. Long Chun roared, and suddenly the sacred dragon roar resounded through the world. The violent blood, with Long Chun as the center, swept through the universe and swept across the 8 wildernesses. As Long Chun shouted, the dragon roared through the world, and the purple divine light filled the world. The warriors of the Purple Blood Clan were instantly covered. The divine ring behind Long Chun was covered by the purple sun. In the purple divine sun, the body of the dragon flickered, and the violent dragon blood power detonated the universe. Boom boom. 10,000 roars, the earth cracked, the entire battlefield was shaking, and the violent breath engulfed the heavens and the world. In front of this sacred dragon power, everyone was like an ant. This is what Long Chun looked like when he was at full firepower. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The most terrifying thing is that Long Chen's breath is still rising crazily, as if there is no end. Bai Yingxue and others were horrified. Although they overestimated Long Chun as much as possible, they still didn't expect Long Chun to be so powerful. We can't let him continue to improve. Hurry up and interrupt him. Bai Ta roared, holding a broadsword, with force running through his arms, and the dragon veins burning all over his body. He didn't dare to hold back at all. A sword energy soared into the sky and went straight to Long Chun to cut him down. OM. Huge sword energy cut through the void and turned into a flying rainbow. However, facing this attack from Bida, Long Chen's face was cold and his eyes were as sharp as a knife, but he did not make any defensive moves. Boom! When Bida's sword energy cut into Long Chun, the purple divine light around Long Chun trembled. That was his body-protecting divine light. The moment this body-protecting divine light burst out, the sword energy burst out. What? Bida was horrified. He did not dare to blindly cut to Long Chun. Although this attack was a test, it gathered 80% of his strength. However, His 80% strength could not even break Long Chen's body-protecting divine light. How powerful was Long Chen at this time? When the disciples of the Luo family saw this scene, their blood boiled. Long Chen's strength was far beyond their imagination. Don't hold back. Burst out with all your strength. We have no way out. Either he dies or we die. Bai Tianxing roared and formed seals with his hands. Boom, boom. Suddenly the void exploded, and a three-headed wolf appeared in the roar. As soon as the wolf appeared, the violent breath of death enveloped the whole scene. It's the three-headed dog of hell. Damn Bai family. You dare to disobey the secret order of the ancestors, practice forbidden techniques, and keep evil spirits. When seeing this scene, Luo Ying and others cursed. The Purple Blood clan has a forbidden technique, which is to use the power of purple blood to keep evil spirits in captivity. This is one of the unique abilities of the Purple Blood clan. The power of purple blood can nourish all things, worship heroic spirits, and also keep evil spirits in captivity. The so-called evil spirits are evil souls. In the chaotic era, there were many evil beings. Although their bodies died, their souls were immortal, and their evil wills wandered between heaven and earth. If someone set up an altar and offered the power of blood and soul to sacrifice, it would be easy to draw them out. But as the saying goes, it's easy to invite gods but difficult to send them away. Once the evil spirit is worshipped, it will take root on the altar, absorb the power of worship, condense the soul with will, and form a body that can switch between visible and invisible. Usually, offering sacrifices to evil spirits will not end well, because when the power of offerings cannot satisfy the evil spirits, they will devour those offerings. The evil spirits raised by the Purple Blood clan are also somewhat similar to this method. Bai Tianxing used his soul power to form a contract, using purple blood as bait to lure the evil spirits of the 10 Directions world to come. If the evil spirits attracted are too weak, they will be killed directly by them, and if the evil spirits attracted are too powerful, they will be in danger of being devoured. Therefore, this kind of thing must be protected by the strongest. In other words, the Bai family's top leaders knew that he practiced this forbidden technique, and it might even be a strategy of the Bai family's top leaders. Practicing forbidden techniques, so what? You're all going to die anyway, and the dead won't tell secrets. Bai Yingxue sneered. She formed seals with both hands. The power of her bloodline burst out. The space behind her twisted, and an evil creature with a height of more than 10 feet and holding a blood-red sword walked out. Boom! Boom! Bida and Bai Yong also summoned their own evil spirits, a giant ape and an evil dragon respectively. Kill Long Chen first. Bai Yingxue shouted, and was the first to kill Long Chen. The moment she made her move, the evil spirit beside her flashed, faster than her, holding a blood-red sword, and rushed to Long Chen, slashing at Long Chen with one knife. The knife contained a terrifying evil power. The void was torn apart, and a piercing sonic boom resounded throughout the venue. And the moment the evil creature slashed with the knife, Bai Yingxue's figure flashed, disappeared on the spot, and unexpectedly appeared behind Long Chen strangely. The sharp sword in her hand stabbed Long Chen's back like a poisonous snake spitting out its tongue. One in front and one behind, one bright and one dark. She and the evil creature cooperated very skillfully. Obviously, they had experienced countless times of running in, which led to this tacit understanding. Death. Seeing that Long Chen had not yet reacted, Bai Yingxue showed a hideous smile on her face. It was too late to dodge or resist at this time. Ha! The sharp sword and the long knife slashed through the void. Seeing that Long Chen was cut, Bai Yingxue was shocked to find that what she cut was just a residual image. Not good. Bai Yingxue's face changed drastically. Be careful. At this time, Bai Tianxing's scream reached her ears. Buzz! Suddenly, Bai Yingxue saw Long Chen's figure from the perspective of the evil spirit, and the evil spirit stabbed Long Chen with a knife. When the evil spirit made a move, the perspective turned slightly, and Bai Yingxue saw her back, and Long Chen was standing behind her. Bai Yingxue was horrified, and without thinking, She stabbed the sword in her hand behind her, and rushed forward at the same time. Ha! However, just as she made a move, her neck suddenly tightened, and a big hand grabbed her neck from behind and swung her up. Puff! Bai Yingxue suddenly felt a sharp pain in her chest. A big knife had pierced her chest. At that moment, the whole audience was shocked. Long Chun strangely dodged the joint attack of Bai Yingxue and the evil spirit, and even used Bai Yingxue as a shield. Bai Yingxue looked at the big knife in front of her chest with horror. She saw the cold face of the evil spirit, and from its eyes, she saw a terrifying killing intent. No! Bai Yingxue screamed in horror, and the evil spirit's long knife trembled violently, and violent power erupted. Puff! Bai Yingxue's body turned into powder directly. The evil spirit is cruel. Usually they are enslaved and kept in captivity. They always want to kill their masters and become free. Now it finally got a chance, and naturally it would not let it go. After killing Bai Yingxue, it lost its restraints and let out a thunderous roar. Boom, boom. Then his violent breath. Nothing could restrain it anymore. Endless blood and energy erupted, and his breath suddenly increased dozens of times. Damn human race! You dare to enslave me. Today I will send you all to hell. The fierce voice of the evil spirit resounded throughout the battlefield. The evil spirit was full of murderous aura. It was a being with a very terrifying origin. It fell in the chaotic era, but its soul lingered and wandered between heaven and earth. Later, it was kept in captivity by Bai Yingxue and nourished by purple blood. Its spirit was gradually improving and its consciousness was awakening. However, it was suppressed by Bai Yingxue's contract and could only succumb. This time, it finally seized the opportunity and killed Bai Yingxue. The soul restraint was completely released, and the violent pressure filled the sky. Thank you for helping me kill that guy. To express my gratitude, I will kill you first. The evil spirit was surrounded by black air, holding a big knife and slashing at Long Chun. The strong wind attached to this knife made the world tremble, and the pressure was dozens of times stronger than that of Bida. This moment, Bida and others were so scared that their faces turned pale. The evil spirit was out of control and would definitely find the Purple Blood Clan. At that time, everyone would know the secret method of their cultivation. With a loud bang, a fist covered with purple dragon scales slammed hard on the big knife. What shocked everyone was that the terrifying sword was actually smashed by Long Chen's punch, and endless fragments pierced through the void, piercing countless large holes. The pupils of the evil spirit suddenly shrank. It didn't expect that the human race in front of it was so powerful. Immortal? Let me try. Long Chun smashed the long sword with a punch, and aimed his other hand at the evil spirit. A flaming cross appeared in his palm. Emperor Blood Seal Cross destroys God. Long Chun shouted and slapped it down with a palm. What shocked everyone was that the terrifying evil spirit didn't even have the courage to resist in front of Long Chen's palm. The body seemed to have stiffened. Bang! Long Chun slapped it with a palm, and its body exploded, and the blood-colored powder dyed the sky red. Ha! After the blood-colored powder exploded, it seemed to want to merge into the void, but suddenly a purple flame appeared on the blood-colored powder. Shichichi! A strange sizzling sound was heard in the void, and it seemed that the desperate wail of the evil spirit could be heard faintly. Finally, the flame disappeared, and the fluctuations of the evil spirit also disappeared. This heroic spirit who survived the chaotic era finally died under Long Chen's Emperor Blood Seal, and his body and soul were destroyed. Buzz! Long Chun killed the evil spirit with a palm, and suddenly raised his hand and aimed at Bai Yong, who was closest to him. Being pointed at by Long Chen's palm, he and his evil spirit suddenly felt a tremor in their souls, and without thinking, they ran away. Ha! Suddenly, Long Chen's big hand clenched violently, and suddenly the void where Bai Yong was located collapsed. An invisible dragon claw could be seen faintly, grabbing him and the evil spirit in his hand. "Don't!" Bayong screamed in horror. He struggled desperately, but he could only watch helplessly as the dragon claws wrapped him up. The sky and the earth suddenly became dark. A muffled sound of puff came from the dragon claw, and blood splashed between the fingers of the dragon claw. Bayong's breath disappeared instantly. This claw not only crushed his body, but also crushed his soul, and crushed the evil spirit together. Dad is right. Less fancy moves, more practical things can directly kill the opponent is the kingly way. This improved Yunlong claw has increased the lethality by more than several times. Long Chun spread out his hands, and the dragon claw disappeared. The position where Bayong was forcibly squeezed into a whirlpool of 100 feet. This is the first time that Long Chun has used the improved version of Yunlong Claw after Long Zhantian's instruction. There is no need to make seals, utter truths, or stir up the power of heaven and earth. Directly use the power of dragon blood to squeeze the void. As long as it is within the scope of the dragon blood field, one thought will bring life to the world, and one thought will destroy everything. Just now, for people rush towards Long Chun at the same time. Bai Yingxue was the first to kill him, and Bai Yong followed closely. When Long Chun killed the evil spirit, he just stepped half a foot into Long Chen's dragon blood field. But he didn't know that he had entered the gate of hell. Long Chun killed Bai Yingxue, the evil spirit, and Bai Yong in succession, but it was just a blink of an eye. Everything happened too fast, so fast that people had no time to react. Bai Ta and Bai Tianxing were still flying towards Long Chun at this time. At this time, their faces were distorted with fear. They hurriedly braked and turned around to run. However, they fled quickly, but Long Chun did not chase them. Long Chun held the long sword in his hand and bent his body slightly. Clang! The sound of dragon roared, and the purple sword energy crossed the battlefield and flew over the heads of Luo Yanfeng and others. Luo Yanfeng and others suddenly felt suffocated. The terrifying pressure almost crushed their bones. Puff, puff, puff. The sword energy cut through the void, where countless demon clan strongmen were hidden, and they were cut into blood mist by Long Chen's sword. It turned out that the strong aura released by the battle here attracted all the powerful demons around. Long Chun did not want to expose the situation here, so he killed them directly to avoid leaking the news. The sword shook the world and completely shattered the confidence of the Bai family disciples. They saw that Bai Ta and Bai Tianxing had run away. Seeing that the situation was not good, the other disciples also ran away. In order to train the disciples of the Purple Blood Clan, they were not allowed to teleport on the battlefield. This was to put them in a desperate situation and make them stronger. Now they fled and left their backs to the disciples of the Luo family. The disciples of the Luo family were already bloodthirsty at this time, and immediately rushed to kill as many as they could. Buzz! Suddenly the void trembled, and the aura of the Purple Crown God Emperor emerged. It was the elder-level powerful Bai family who teleported here. Puff! However, before that person appeared, Long Chun had already raised his sword and was ready. When the space was still distorted, Long Chun slashed down with a sword, and a figure was chopped into pieces by the sword, and was directly swallowed by the distorted space, without even a chance to appear. Long Chun held the long sword and stared coldly at the void. Sure enough, he caught the fluctuations in the void again, and also sensed the breath of the Bai family. Swish! Long Chun slashed out with the sword again, and the void was cut apart. In the twisted space there was a painful scream, and then there was the sound of the flesh being crushed by the blade of space. Another elder of the Bai family died without a complete body. Long Chun killed 2 elders of the Bai family who came to help in succession, and then there was no sound. Long Chun knew that there were only 2 people from the Bai family on duty on the battlefield and who knew about this. Long Chun looked back at the battlefield. At this time, most of the Bai family disciples had died, and only a small half escaped. The disciples of the Luo family also died in this battle, and more than 1,000 people died. Although it was a great victory at this time, Luo Yanfeng and others were full of resentment and pain in their eyes, and there was no trace of the joy of victory. Long Chun. Wow. Luo Yanfeng and others came to Long Chun, each with tears in their eyes, and Luo Ying cried even more aggrievedly. If they died on the battlefield at the hands of the demons, they would die without regrets, but so many good men of the Luo family died at the hands of their own people. Their deaths were too aggrieved. They were originally very good brothers and sisters, and had a harmonious relationship with each other. After so many bloody battles on the battlefield, they had established a friendship as strong as steel. Now, watching them die tragically at the hands of the Bai family, they were filled with hatred. Sister Ying, don't cry, condolences. Seeing Luo Ying wailing, Luo Jiang choked and advised, let's go back to the Purple Blood Clan, and let the Bai family condole with condolences as well. Long Chen's face was gloomy. He waved his hand and rushed towards the Purple Blood Clan with the disciples of the Luo family. Long Chen's face was gloomy and murderous. Together with everyone else, he collected the bodies of the disciples of the Luo family who died in battle. A total of 1,035 disciples of the Luo family died in battle, while more than 40,000 of the Bai family died in battle. The Bai family had more than 70,000 disciples in total, which was the strongest force among the young disciples of the Bai family. Luo Yanfeng's side was only one of the 4 strongest teams of the Luo family. It can be seen how much the Bai family valued Luo Yanfeng and others, because the Bai family saw that the blood of Luo Yanfeng and others was gradually awakening, so they had to get rid of them. However, the blood of other teams of the Luo family showed no signs of awakening at all, and even after receiving the totem blessing, there was no movement. So the Bai family suspected that Long Chun was behind it, so their goal this time was to kill Long Chun, Luo Yanfeng and others. This is why Bai Yingxue and others had been waiting for Long Chun, and they did get what they wanted, and Long Chun also came, but this did not seem to be the result they wanted. The ground had been dyed purple by blood. Luo Yanfeng and the others were filled with sorrow and anger. These were their good brothers and sisters, but now they died at the hands of the Bai family. They hated them so much. However, while hating them, they also felt deeply powerless. What could they do with hatred? Would the Luo family go to war with the Bai family? Even if the Luo family and the Bai family went to war, would the other 2 families stand by and watch? Would the old patriarch allow such a thing to happen? Everyone carefully collected the corpses of the brothers and followed Long Chen's footsteps, heading all the way to the Purple Blood Clan. Long Chun. Everyone was silent along the way, gritting their teeth. Many people did not sheath their swords, but held their weapons in their hands. The atmosphere was extremely low. Luo Yanfeng hesitated several times, but finally mustered up the courage to speak. However, the moment Luo Yanfeng opened his mouth, Long Chun waved his hand and interrupted him directly. You were their leader before and you had to bear everything. Now I am the leader. If you kill my brother Long Chun, I will make him pay a heavy price. Long Chun said with a gloomy face. This time, Long Chun was completely furious. Through this, Long Chun could see that the Bai family was stupid and bad, and they were all sinister, cruel, vicious, and harmful. The Bai family must pay the price for this. Although Luo Yanfeng and others had not been in contact with Long Chun for a long time, they could feel his heroic spirit, which was why he was so loved and trusted by everyone. They felt that Long Chen's anger had reached its extreme, and they also felt Long Chen's murderous intention, like a volcano, about to erupt. He was worried that Long Chun would act on impulse and wanted to remind him that he should notify the head of the family first, but Long Chun didn't let him speak at all. Long Chun, Luo Yanfeng secretly pulled Luo Ying's sleeve. Luo Ying was originally immersed in sadness. Seeing Luo Yanfeng winking at her, she took a deep breath and spoke. Don't persuade me. No one can change what I, Long Chen, have decided. If you believe in me, follow me to seek justice for the dead brothers. If you don't believe me, you can leave at any time. Long Chun said coldly. Hearing that Long Chun was going to take them to seek justice for their dead brothers, Luo Jiang was the first to stand up and shouted, I want to follow big brother Long Chun, and we will attack the Bai family together. Even if I die, I will kill more bastards from the Bai family. Yes, kill these bastards, so what if we die? If we die, the Bai family will be seriously injured. It will be worth dying if we use our lives to clear obstacles for the Luo family's warriors. Yes, fight them to the death. Let's go all out and kill them. Luo Zhang's words instantly turned everyone's sadness into anger. They roared, their eyes bloodshot. Luo Yanfeng gritted his teeth. Since everyone was in this state of mind, he didn't need to persuade them. He would fight to the death with the Bai family. As that brother said, even if they died, the Luo family still had so many outstanding disciples. What was there to be afraid of? Soon everyone arrived at the teleportation array at the edge of the battlefield. At that time, 2 elders of the Luo family were on duty. When they saw Luo Yanfeng and others covered in blood and the number of people was much less, they couldn't help but be shocked. Just as he was about to ask, Luo Yanfeng spoke first. Uncle Qing. Don't ask. The Purple Blood Clan is about to change. Buzz. Luo Yanfeng had just finished speaking when everyone had already stepped onto the teleportation array and activated it directly. Hey, wait. You're wrong. That's going to the Bai family. The Luo family elder who was called Uncle Qing suddenly changed his face. Not good. He and another elder directly activated the identity nameplate, regardless of whether they were absent from their posts, and teleported back to the Luo family. Buzz. A group of murderous figures appeared in the square of the Bai family. They were Long Chen, Luo Yanfeng, and others. Luo Yanfeng and other Luo family disciples stepped into the Bai family square for the first time in their lives. But they did not expect to set foot here in this way. The Bai family square is several times larger than the Luo family square, and the surrounding buildings are even more sacred and magnificent. Compared with the decline of the Luo family, this place seems magnificent. Bai Ingxiong, old dog, hand over the murderer who slaughtered my Luo family sons. Otherwise the Bai family will be expelled from the family today. Long Chun shouted angrily to the sky. His voice was like the roar of a god, resounding throughout the entire purple blood lineage. Long Chun and others stepped into the Bai family square, which had already caused dissatisfaction among countless Bai family disciples. Now Long Chun even called Bai Ingxiong an old dog, and the Bai family disciples were even more furious. They rushed straight to Long Chun and others, cursing loudly. Luo family's mad dog. Why are you biting people everywhere? Get out of here quickly. Puff, puff, puff. When Luo Yanfeng and others saw the disciples of the Luo family, they thought of their dead brothers and sisters, and they didn't need Long Chen's order at all, and they took action directly. These Bai family disciples never thought that the Luo family disciples would dare to kill people here, so they were killed by surprise, and their bodies were instantly scattered across the square. Death. At this moment, the void trembled, and the pressure of the purple-crowned divine emperor covered the entire field. A sharp sword fell. This sword poured out the purple-crowned divine emperor's life strength. That person wanted to kill Luo Yanfeng and everyone else with one blow. Buzz! An ancient bronze tripod appeared in the void and hit the long sword fiercely. It was the demon moon tripod summoned by Long Chun. Boom! With a loud bang, the runes around the demon moon tripod glowed, and the long sword and its owner were forcibly shaken away. The demon moon tripod at this time was no longer the previous demon moon tripod. It was originally just a fake. After the transformation of the original power of the Chenkuan tripod, it already had some of the power of the Chenkuan tripod. In addition, Long Chun collected the natural materials and treasures during this period to nourish it. At this time, it has the power to destroy the world. What? The purple-crowned divine emperor of the Bai family was shocked and his blood surged. He saw stars and almost spit out a mouthful of blood. He never thought that Long Chun actually had such a magical weapon. Bai Tao, be careful. At this moment, an elder of the Bai family who was rushing over from a distance shouted in fear, but he shouted a little too late. Puff! A long sword silently passed through the void, and the elder named Bai Tao didn't even see Long Chen's figure, and a head flew into the sky. Long Chen's figure was like lightning, like a ghost. Not to mention that the elder of the Bai family had not recovered from the impact of the Yaoyueding. Even with his usual reaction, he might not be able to defend against Long Chen's body movement at this time. Under Long Zhantian's teaching, Long Chen had a new understanding and improvement in combat methods, magic methods, body movements, and mental methods. As for the elders of the Bai family, they were just powerful in realm, but their lethality was not high, and their combat experience was obviously insufficient. When they met Luo Yanfeng and others, they could suppress them with their realm, but when they met Long Chen, they were not good enough. Ha! Long Chen stood in the void, holding Bai Tao's head. At this time, Bai Tao's soul fire had been extinguished, and he was dead and could not die anymore. Damn beast, die! The roar came, and the elders of the Bai family came out in full force, and dozens of people attacked Long Chen at the same time. Long Chen's move completely angered them, and the disciples of the Bai family also rushed out like a tide, madly attacking Luo Yanfeng and others. They didn't know what happened. They only knew that the Luo family disciples were so bold that they dared to provoke the Bai family. The hatred for the last time Long Chen slapped Bai Yingxiong had not yet subsided, and now he came to kill them again. The disciples and elders of the Bai family were completely furious. Luo Yanfeng and others didn't waste their words. They had already sacrificed their lives to come here with Long Chen. They only had one goal now, that is, to kill as many as possible to fight for a future for the young disciples of the Luo family. As for Long Chen, they were no longer worried about him because everyone was going to die today, and it didn't make any difference whether they died early or late. They couldn't help Long Chen. They thought that Long Chen was deliberately attracting those elders to give them the opportunity to kill more people. Puff, puff, puff. Luo Yanfeng and others roared, killing wildly, exchanging injuries for injuries, fighting for their lives. Almost the moment they came into contact, the disciples of the Bai family were torn into pieces like cutting melons and vegetables, and blood instantly infected the entire square. Purple Dragon Battle Body, open. Facing the siege of dozens of Bai family elders, Long Chen roared and summoned the Purple Dragon Battle Body directly. The Demon Moon tripod stood by his side to help him defend, and he rushed forward with a sword. Bang! An elder of the Bai family stabbed Long Chen with a spear in his hand, but was blocked by the Demon Moon tripod at the moment, when Long Chen chopped him into two pieces with a sword. Puff! Long Chen changed his body skills and directly hit an elder of the Bai family with his back. The elder of the Bai family was shocked. He had never seen such a body skill before. Isn't this giving his life to others? The elder stabbed Long Chen's back with a sword, and at the moment when he stabbed Long Chen's back, he was shocked to find that a transparent object suddenly protruded from behind Long Chen's back. The object was in the shape of a long strip. When it appeared completely, he could see clearly that it was actually a square brick. Bang! The long sword stabbed on the square brick, sparks flew, and this sword did not hurt Long Chen at all. Long Chen turned around, and the elder screamed, and his head flew into the sky. At this time, the blue brick had disappeared, as if nothing had happened. The only person who knew the secret had been killed by Long Chen. Puff, puff, puff. Long Chen held the Yaoyueding and rushed left and right in the crowd. The Yaoyueding rotated rapidly, not giving everyone a chance to surround him. Long Chen was like a ghost, moving through the crowd. Every time he struck out with a sword, an elder would be killed. One sword, one without exception. In just a few breaths, Long Chen killed 9 elders. The blood of the purple-crowned divine emperor dyed the sky above the entire square into a gorgeous purple world. However, after killing 9 elders of the Bai family, the number of elders of the Bai family did not decrease, but increased because the elders of the Bai family were still coming in an endless stream. Everyone, disperse. Let me smash his broken tripod. At this time, a roar was heard, and a burly elder of the Bai family, who looked like a little giant, rushed out. This person was born with supernatural power and used a storm hammer. The hammer surface was almost the same as an ordinary table. This was a terrifying heavy weapon. In the entire Purple Blood clan, only he could lift this hammer. He saw that Long Chen's Yaoyue Ding was invincible and no one could do anything to him. He raised the hammer and rushed straight towards Long Chen. Boom, boom, boom. Every time he took a step, the void trembled. Every time he took a step, his strength increased. The terrifying pressure scared the elders of the Bai family, and they quickly made way for fear of being hit to death by him. Humph! Seeing the elder of the Bai family coming to kill him, Long Chen snorted coldly, and his figure flashed. He was like a flash of lightning and actually rushed straight towards the elder. Die! The elder roared, and smashed the hammer in his hand towards Long Chen fiercely. Ha! However, when the figure rushed in front of the elder, it instantly dispersed. After image! Someone exclaimed. The elder smashed down with a hammer, but was shaken and hit nothing. The feeling of the power was lost almost made him vomit blood. The huge force took him around in the void. Just when he had just stabilized his body, he was shocked to find that Long Chen was already in front of him, with a finger already touching his forehead. Idiot! Puff! The lightning arrow shot out from Long Chen's fingertips and instantly pierced his head. The man trembled all over, and the body and the hammer fell from the air. The hammer directly smashed a big hole in the ground. After killing the man, Long Chen took a step forward and took the initiative to rush towards the elders of the Bai family. Puff, puff, puff. Long Chen's body was like a ghost, and his sword was like a swimming dragon. He changed his previous bold and open style and actually took the route of a killer assassin. Surrounded by the crowd, he came and went freely, killing one by one with his sword, making the elders of the Bai family scream in anger. They knew that as long as they completed the encirclement, Long Chen's ghost-like body movements would not be able to be used. However, no matter how hard they tried, they could not surround him. Seeing the elders being killed one by one, the others were shocked, angry, and anxious. Suddenly, someone looked at Luo Yanfeng and others, and a gloomy light flashed in his eyes, and he actually rushed straight towards Luo Yanfeng. Puff! However, as soon as he rushed out, a sword energy shot out and directly chopped his body into pieces. It was Long Chen who killed him with a sword. However, when Long Chen struck out with this sword, the elders of the Bai family suddenly brightened up. They couldn't catch Long Chen, so why not kill Luo Yanfeng and others and lure Long Chen to come up? Ha! All the elders of the Bai family abandoned Long Chen almost at the same time and rushed to kill Luo Yanfeng and others. Little beast, there are so many of us. Let's see how many you can stop. Aren't you arrogant? Let's see if you can save them. An elder of the Bai family rushed to the square with a ferocious face, and shouted at Long Chen at the same time. Little beast, if you have the guts, come and save them. Did you bring them here just to die? Why don't you come and die with them? Coward! The elders of the Bai family rushed over, cursing loudly, for they were afraid that Long Chen would not be fooled. However, facing their scolding, Long Chen snorted coldly, and a petite and beautiful figure appeared beside Long Chen. It was Hualinger. As soon as Hualinger appeared, she formed seals with her hands and shouted at the same time, "Come out, my golden crow warrior!" As Hualinger shouted, fist-sized golden balls of light appeared in the void. As soon as the balls appeared, they burst into dazzling golden light, like golden meteors, crashing into the elders of the Bai family. What is that? Seeing that the ball of light was strange, the elders of the Bai family did not dare to touch it, and directly slashed it with their weapons. Boom! When the golden ball of light exploded, golden flames shot up into the sky, and the violent air wave directly lifted the elder of the Bai family away. Then a majestic three-legged golden crow rushed out. The three-legged golden crow spread its wings, but it was only 10 feet away. But when its wings spread, the void exploded, and thousands of roars roared. The three-legged golden crow at this time was more powerful than the last time it appeared. Swish! The three-legged golden crow appeared. Its claws broke through the air, and directly tore one of the elder's arms into pieces. "It's the Golden Crow, the legendary three-legged Golden Crow." The elder screamed in fear after one of his arms was torn off. Puff! However, when he retreated in fear, another three-legged Golden Crow appeared, and one of its wings slashed fiercely on his body. With a loud bang, the elder of the Bai family was instantly chopped into a bloody mist. Boom, boom! Golden crows filled the sky, thousands of them, and the golden divine light was surging back and forth. The elders of the Bai family could not break through their blockade at all. Puff, puff, puff. At this time, Long Chun had already come with a long sword. Every time he struck a sword, an elder of the Bai family would be killed. Stop, stop. At this moment, the void trembled, and countless figures appeared. Then the alarms in the entire Purple Blood clan roared and exploded, and more than 30 alarms were activated at the same time. Since the Purple Blood clan secluded themselves in the small world, no one has ever seen so many alarms sounding at the same time. In history, their small world had been connected to other worlds and had encountered wars, but at most only a few alarms sounded. Now all the alarms sounded at the same time, which means that there is a danger of genocide. The alarm is not activated by an individual, but by the strong men of the Purple Blood clan. When a certain number of deaths have been reached, the alarm will be triggered. When the alarm sounded, no matter who they were or what they were doing, they had to come out to fight, and those who were in seclusion in the secret rooms would be forced out. That moment, the strong men of the entire Purple Blood clan were stunned, and those who had been in seclusion for thousands of years were also forced out. When these people appeared, their spiritual senses swept across the entire Purple Blood clan, and they immediately discovered the bloody battle on the Bai family square, and rushed over. Stop it, are you crazy? How can the people of the Purple Blood clan kill each other? A white-haired old man appeared. This person was the elder of the Purple Blood clan. At this time, seeing the ground full of corpses and the entire square covered with blood, he was shocked and angry, and shouted loudly. The disciples of the Luo family and the disciples of the Bai family fought each other, and Long Chun and the elders of the Bai family also fought hard. It was a mess. They had all the skills, but they couldn't stop it. You all saw it. Long Chun has gone crazy. The Luo family has gone crazy. Everyone in the Bai family listened to my order. Today we will fight to the death with the Luo family. Everyone, go out. At this moment Bai Yingxiong arrived. He roared, and hundreds of Purple Crown Divine Emperor realm powerhouses of the Bai family rushed straight to Long Chun with overwhelming murderous aura. Old ghost, you finally came out? Do you think that you can muddy the water and cover up your sinister means by playing a trick of self-torture? Dream on. Today, all of you who participated in the calculation of my Luo family disciples will die. I said it. Long Chun killed an elder of the Bai family with a sword. He turned his head and looked at Bai Yingxiong, with murderous intent in his eyes. Bai Yingxiong came out. Long Chun didn't believe that he had just received the news now. The reason why he waited until now to come out was to let everyone see that it was Long Chun who led the Luo family disciples to kill the Bai family and slaughtered the Bai family disciples. In this way, the Luo family went from being right to being wrong. When the time comes, they can find a scapegoat like Bai Wanan and put all the responsibility on him. In this way, the murderer who killed the Luo family disciples will be brought to justice, and everything can be exposed. Long Chun led everyone to kill the Bai family, which is a big deal. Especially under the watchful eyes of so many old generation masters, no matter what means the Bai family uses to deal with the Luo family, it is not excessive. The real masters of the Bai family have already gathered and are waiting for this opportunity. Now, they no longer need to be patient. Among the hundreds of Purple Crown emperors, there are still several mid-stage emperors. Bai Yingxiong even took action personally, took a step forward, and rushed straight to Long Chun to kill him. His eyes were full of cold murderous intent. He hated Long Chun. He received the news on the battlefield as soon as possible. He was bleeding when he learned that so many elites of the Bai family had died. He blamed all this on Long Chun. At this time he wished to crush Long Chun into powder. Facing Bai Yingxiong, who was full of killing intent. Long Chen's eyes were burning with anger. Long Chen held a long sword and rushed straight towards Bai Yingxiong. "Little beast, your death is coming." Seeing that Long Chen did not show any fear and dared to face him, Bai Yingxiong gritted his teeth and roared, "Old turtle, if I can let you survive today, my name Long Chen will be written backwards from now on." Long Chen's voice almost broke out from his teeth. Although Bai Yingxiong was strong, Long Chen was not afraid. His most powerful point was his imperial pressure, which would suppress Long Chen and make him unable to move. But Long Chen also had his own trump card. He only needed to let the Chenkuanding offset his pressure lock, and Long Chen would be able to move freely. Long Chen was not afraid of the strong man in the middle stage of the Divine Emperor. "Bai Yingxiong, you have such a big face to attack my grandson. Today, let me, Luo Zichuan, meet you and see if your skills are as good as your face." OM. With a cold shout, a long sword slashed down the sky. The sword was not spoken, but the terrifying sword intent made the world tremble. The sharp sword energy made everyone's skin sting and their souls tremble. Bai Yingxiong was shocked. Although Luo Zichuan had confronted him in momentum last time, and on the surface, they were evenly matched, Bai Yingxiong felt that although Luo Zichuan's aura was strong, his real strength was far from his own. Now that Luo Zichuan attacked, he realized that Luo Zichuan had actually hidden his strength at that time. This sword sucked away the killing aura between heaven and earth without a drop left. People's scalps were numb, as if their souls were about to be sucked into this sword. "Bastards of the Luo family, today I will kill all of you." Bai Yingxiong roared, holding a bright silver spear, and the crown of the emperor emerged. The pressure of the middle stage of the Divine Emperor was released violently, and a spear pierced the sky. Bang! A sword energy and a spear shadow collided fiercely. With a loud bang, the whole square collapsed, and the air waves swept across the sky. Bai Yingxiong was chopped away by a sword. "Who?" Luo Zichuan's figure appeared beside Long Chen. He held a long sword, his long hair was flying, and dragon patterns flowed in his purple pupils, just like the purple blood god of war descended to the world. "I kill the old ones, and you kill the young ones." Luo Zichuan did not ask what happened, let alone ask Long Chen's reason. After saying this, he merged with the sword and rushed towards Bai Yingxiong. "Son of the Luo family, kill!" At this moment, Luo Yingchen led the Luo family's strong men and countless Luo family disciples, shouting, and poured into the square like a tide. What moved Long Chen was that the Luo family was usually timid and hesitant, but at the critical moment no one hesitated. They all held their weapons and rushed forward with gritted teeth. No one retreated with an attitude of seeing death as the way home. However, when the disciples of the Luo family appeared, everyone was shocked. They couldn't believe their eyes. How could there be so many strong disciples of the Luo family? There were 300,013 veins of heavenly saints, which was more than the sum of all the top disciples of the three families, and there were millions of 9 veins of heavenly saints. In fact, this was all Long Chen's credit. Of course, it was also because too many people in the Purple Blood clan awakened the 13 dragon veins before they died on the battlefield. They were eventually captured by the Heavenly Dao tree and produced the 13 dragon veins of Heavenly Dao fruit. Long Chen handed the Heavenly Dao fruit to Luo Zichuan, who personally distributed these Heavenly Dao fruits to the disciples of the Luo family. Luo Zichuan did not show favoritism, but distributed the Heavenly Dao fruit to those disciples with good character and good talent, whether they were from his own lineage or others, and even some of them were from the same lineage as Luo Shenghui, he treated them equally. Of course, all this was done secretly under Luo Zichuan's operation, and all the disciples who swallowed the Heavenly Dao fruit would no longer appear in the public sight. And Luo Zichuan also won the consent of the old patriarch to directly send the Luo family disciples to the God pool for baptism. So one by one, powerful 13 veins were born. But in fact, most of these people are from Luo Zichuan's lineage. There is no way many of these people have been influenced by Long Chen. Anyone who has fought side by side with Long Chen is like a frog at the bottom of a well. Who is willing to stay where they are when they see the vast sky? Therefore, they are working hard to improve themselves all the time. They want to become stronger like Long Chun and see the wider sky. They always remember what Long Chun said. You must always work hard and accumulate your strength, just to be able to firmly grasp it when the opportunity comes one day in the future. Don't complain about not having opportunities, because without strength, even if the opportunity comes, you can only watch it slip away. They respect Long Chun like a god, although they are mediocre, especially after coming to the Purple Blood Clan. The dimensional gap is simply despairing. But even so, they have never forgotten Long Chun's words, and have never slacked off in their practice. They firmly believe that as long as they are alive, they will definitely have opportunities. Everything now verifies Long Chun's words, which are the truth. These disciples who work hard stand out and all get the heavenly Tao fruit. They are resolute, brave, and hardworking. The only thing they lack is talent, and this almost irreparable gap was made up on this day. Those who laughed at them before have already fainted in the toilet. Originally, everyone had no talent, and some people have already accepted their fate. Long Chun also said a sentence, that is, never laugh at those who work harder than you, because those who don't accept their fate, no matter whether they can change their fate in the future, are worthy of respect. Kill, live and die with senior brother Long Chun. The Luo family disciples shouted. They had been practicing hard in the ordinary realm, and now they had just advanced to the 13th heavenly veins, but their foundation was solid, their combat experience was rich, and their strength was even greater than most of the Bai family disciples who attacked Luo Yanfeng and others. Puff, puff, puff. When they saw Long Chun fighting, their blood boiled, and they finally had the opportunity to fight side by side with Long Chun again. When they attacked, they all made the most fierce and decisive moves. Originally, Luo Yanfeng and others were surrounded by heavy enemies, but now the Luo family disciples came to kill them, and they instantly gained the advantage in both numbers and strength. Under the attack from both inside and outside, the disciples of the Bai family were constantly killed, and the battle situation showed a one-sided trend. Luo Yanfeng and others were very excited at this time. With support, it meant that no one would die. With the increase of confidence, morale was greatly boosted. In the void, the Golden Crow was flying and constantly fighting with the elders of the Bai family. The Bai family elders who came now were very powerful, far beyond the comparison of the elders at the beginning. It was difficult for the Golden Crow warriors to cause them harm in a one-on-one situation, and Long Chun did not need them to cause any harm to these elders. He only needed the Golden Crows to give him a chance. As long as they were not surrounded, they would still kill one by one in a one-on-one situation. It was useless to be strong. There were flaws in body movement, magic, and combat methods. In front of Long Chun, it was simply a waste. With the cover of the Golden Crow, he turned into the god of death and kept reaping the life of the purple-crowned divine emperor. This little beast, as long as he is hit once, he will definitely die. An elder of the Bai family roared. However, there were endless Golden Crows causing trouble inside, and the elders of the Luo family were coming to kill them outside. They were also attacked from all sides, and they were as anxious as ants on a hot pot. Kill these hateful Golden Crows first. We must kill Long Chun today. The Bai family's strong men shouted. Come and lock him with a mid-stage divine emperor so that he can't move. Where are the people? One person shouted. When they came, in addition to Bai Ingxiong, there were 5 hidden mid-stage divine emperor strongmen, but now none of them are gone. Puff! Suddenly, the void in the distance exploded. A scream came, and then a head flew over. Senior Ingfeng. When the strong men of the Bai family saw the head, they screamed in fear, and their backs were chilled. The man was called Bai Ingfeng, Bai Ingxiong's brother, and he was also a mid-stage divine emperor strongman, but he was already dead at this time. Boom, boom, boom. In the distance, the void kept exploding, figures flickered, and sword shadows filled the sky. Bai Ingxiong and others joined forces to fight Luo Zichuan, but they were defeated by Luo Zichuan's sword. One of them was already injured and covered in blood. Originally, there were 6 people in the middle stage of the Divine Emperor. As soon as they fought, one died and one was injured. The strong men of the Bai family felt cold in their hearts. Is this Luo Zichuan still a human? Why is he so terrifying? The battlefield is divided into 3 parts. The battlefield of the Tianxing disciples, the battlefield of the early stage of the Divine Emperor Elders, and the battlefield of the middle stage of the Divine Emperor. As a result, all 3 battlefields are not optimistic for the Bai family. Who would have thought that the Luo family, which has always been a soft persimmon, suddenly turned into a beast? Seeing that more and more people from the Bai family died, the people of the Bai family were completely scared. Stop it! Stop it! Don't fight! The strong men from other branches of the Purple Blood clan were so scared that their faces turned pale, and they kept shouting when they saw the fierce fight between the 2 clans. But the 2 sides were fighting in a melee. Unless they voluntarily separated, no one could stop the fight. They watched anxiously. Puff, puff, puff. These strong men watched Long Chen's lightning-fast moves. Every time he struck out a sword, an elder of the Bai family would be killed. The cruel means made their scalps numb. These usually high-ranking divine emperors actually seemed so vulnerable in front of Long Chen. On the other hand, although Luo Yingqin and other Luo family elders attacked sharply, they still couldn't do anything to their opponents within dozens of moves. Most of the people who died on this battlefield were killed by Long Chen, and Long Chen's killing without blinking an eye was terrifying. Stop! Bang! Suddenly a drum sounded, and all the strong men present were stiff and unable to move. A war drum appeared in the void, with a divine image painted on it. The divine light flowed and rippled, imprisoning the whole world. Was unknown what kind of leather the drum was made of. The bronze drum surface was as smooth as a mirror, facing the entire battlefield. The figure of the old patriarch appeared next to the war drum. At this time, he no longer had a smile on his face, but was replaced by a cold and stern look. In fact, he saw the battle just after it began. But at this time, the 2 families were so angry that they didn't even want to live, so how could they listen to him? He appeared at this time because he was summoning the treasure of the Purple Blood clan, the War God Drum. This War God Drum is the most powerful artifact of the Purple Blood clan. In order to make both sides stop, they had to use it. Patriarch Long Chen, this little beast, led people. Seeing the old patriarch appear, an old man from the Bai family who was besieging Long Chen shouted. Although he couldn't move and his blood was imprisoned, he could speak. Puff! However, just as he opened his mouth, Long Chen suddenly moved, and with a sword, the old man of the Bai family was cut into 2 pieces by Long Chen's sword. What? Long Chen could actually ignore the pressure of the War God Drum? At that moment, countless people were shocked. This War God Drum is the strongest artifact of the Purple Blood clan. There is no other, only the old patriarch is qualified to use it. It blocked the whole place, including the mid-stage Divine Emperor Strongman, but it couldn't imprison him. Young man, you are too arrogant. At this moment, a cold voice came, and then a transparent big hand suddenly grabbed Long Chen's throat. Try to touch me? Suddenly, the long sword in Long Chen's hand disappeared, and was replaced by a dagger covered with dense runes. The sharp dagger stabbed at the transparent big hand. You! The owner of the transparent big hand was startled and directly retracted the attack. Obviously, he saw the origin of the dagger. How did you get the magic weapon of the Demon Clan? You are a spy of the Demon Clan. Bai Yingxiong shouted angrily when he saw the demonic energy rising from the dagger in Long Chen's hand. For a moment, everyone in the audience changed their faces. How could Long Chen have the magic weapon of the Demon Clan? If Long Chen was a spy of the Demon Clan, then once he detonated the dagger, I don't know if the old patriarch would have time to suppress him. Long Chen held the charged dagger and looked at a certain place in the void, his face gloomy, and said, I, Long Chen, have been arrogant for a long time, but I think it's because I'm not arrogant enough. So the idiots of the Bai family dared to blatantly slaughter my sons of the Luo family. Nonsense, nonsense. Bai Yingxiong roared loudly. He wanted to quibble and quibble, but suddenly the war god drum trembled slightly, and he was completely imprisoned. Except for his eyes, he could not move anything else. The old patriarch said coldly, "The war god drum has the Tao rune. It can figure out the whole story of this matter. Forget about your childish quibbling." Hearing the old patriarch's words, Bai Ingxiong's face turned pale. He didn't expect that this matter would lead to the war god drum, and he didn't expect that the war god drum would have this ability. However, he still pretended to be calm. He felt that the old patriarch was deceiving him and he couldn't be fooled easily. He still had the last glimmer of hope in his heart. No matter what mistakes Ingxiong made, this matter should be reported to the clan council. The right and wrong will be decided by the patriarch and the supreme elders of each family. Long Chun led the disciples of the Luo family to kill and caused such a huge number of casualties. It is a capital crime. At this time, an old man holding a cane, who was almost as old as a candle in the wind, walked out of the crowd. This old man was an ancestor of the Bai family. He had already died and had been lingering in seclusion. Now he was ejected from the seclusion. When he saw the Luo family slaughtering the Bai family, he was so angry that he almost exploded on the spot. This ancestor of the Bai family was much older than the old patriarch. He walked out tremblingly, pointing his cane at Long Chun, with a look of resentment on his face. This person's time is running out. Fortunately, the war god drum locked onto the battlefield area. If it was the entire battlefield, he would have died immediately. No matter what mistakes you made? When Long Chun heard this, his eyes instantly became fierce. Clang! Long Chun drew his sword out of its sheath, and a stream of sword energy shot out, heading straight for the old man. "How dare you!" The old man saw that Long Chun dared to attack him, and he couldn't help but shout angrily, but he was powerless to stop him. Boom! At this moment, the transparent figure appeared and smashed Long Chun's sword energy with a palm. "Long Chun, you are too arrogant." The transparent figure was completely enraged by Long Chun. The old patriarch was here and so many high-level people were here, but Long Chun dared to kill people. It was clear that he didn't take everyone seriously. This transparent figure was the shadow guard of the Purple Blood Clan, and the only shadow guard with a status almost equal to that of the patriarch. He was usually invisible. The Purple Blood Clan only knew that there was a terrifying existence in the clan with the same strength as the old patriarch, but no one had seen it. The shadow guard was provoked by Long Chun one after another today, and he couldn't help but get angry. He shouted coldly, "Do you think you can do whatever you want with a charged dagger in your hand?" Puff, puff, puff. At this moment, the Bai family ancestor behind the shadow guard suddenly trembled all over. Blood splashed, and there were more than a dozen blood holes on his body. What? Everyone was shocked. Long Chen's attack was broken by the shadow guard. Who hurt him? Do you think I can't kill him just because you blocked my sword? No one can resist the person I, Long Chen, want to kill. Long Chen said coldly. You! The shadow guard was furious. He realized that after Long Chen's sword energy was broken by him, it was scattered but not chaotic. It was secretly condensed in the dark and slowly stabbed at the Bai family ancestor. Because of the slow speed and weak power, no one paid attention to it. These sword energies were like cunning assassins. They didn't burst out until they were close to him. One of the sword energies directly pierced the old man's eyebrows. The old man was trembling all over, his mouth opening and closing, as if he wanted to say something, but he didn't say a word and just fell to the ground. Long Chun. The shadow guard was completely enraged. He roared and the violent air waves swept across the heavens. The terrifying pressure was like the stars in the sky, all pressing on Long Chun. Boom! The void where Long Chun was kept twisting, as if it was about to be crushed. Long Chun felt as if an invisible big hand was holding him down. Long Chen's left hand was in great pain and kept shaking. His hand was holding the charged dagger. The shadow guard was going to crush his arm and take the dagger away, so that Long Chun would lose all his support. Since the Purple Blood Clan is ruthless, don't blame me, Long Chun, for being cruel and ruthless. Long Chen's face suddenly became ferocious. However, just as Long Chen was about to summon the Chenkuan Ding, a figure appeared in front of Long Chen. People were shocked to find that Luo Zichuan, who was deep in the battlefield, was not bound by the war god drum and could move freely. Luo Zichuan held the long sword in his hand and drew a strange arc in the air. The terrifying pressure on Long Chen instantly disappeared. Master Shadow Guard, since you don't care about right and wrong, and don't distinguish between right and wrong, and use force to suppress others, then today we have no choice but to fight each other and see the truth. Perhaps the purple blood lineage is no different from the outside world. Since whoever has the bigger fist speaks the truth, let's fight with our lives. Luo Zichuan's long sword crossed the sky, with sword shadows all over the sky. Finally, the long sword pointed at Shadow Guard, and the fierce murderous aura radiated. Grandpa! Looking at Luo Zichuan's tall back, Long Chen couldn't help but feel touched. Grandpa was such a traditional and old-fashioned person, but he was willing to fight against the entire Purple Blood clan for him. Luo Zichuan attaches great importance to seniority. Going to war with the elders is a great rebellion and unforgivable. Luo Zichuan went through untold hardships and survived 9 deaths in order to save the ancestors of the Luo family. Now he has to fight tit for tat and fight to the death. Thinking about it, it is such a great irony. What shocked everyone was that Luo Zichuan was obviously in the early stage of the Divine Emperor, but facing the Shadow Guard who was in the late stage of the Divine Queen, he actually had the momentum to fight against him. Don't ask the truth? Don't know right from wrong? Then tell me, why did Long Chen lead people to kill the Bai family, fight against each other, and blood flow like a river? Shadow Guard said angrily. Although I don't know what happened, I believe in Long Chen. He must have his reasons for doing this. If he did something wrong, I am willing to die to apologize, but I dare to ask, Lord Shadow Guard, if you did something wrong, would you do this? Luo Zichuan looked at the Shadow Guard and said solemnly, You! Lord Shadow Guard was shocked and angry, but was speechless. He didn't kill Long Chen. He also knew that there must be a reason. But no matter what the reason, they are all family. Can't they talk it out? Moreover, the old patriarch has already calmed down the scene, and Long Chen still killed people. This is clearly a slap in the face of him and the old patriarch. How can he not be angry? Hearing his grandfather's words, Long Chen's eyes turned red. No one can help but be moved by this absolute trust. Luo Zichuan has been a hero all his life and is not afraid of death. But he is clean and self-disciplined. He is most afraid of leaving stains on his body. It takes a lot of trust to let him point his knife at the ancestors of the Purple Blood clan. At this time, Long Chen spoke, and he sneered. Didn't the old man of the Bai family say that no matter what mistakes are made, shouldn't it be reported to the clan leader and handed over to the clan council for a decision? As a powerful person in the late stage of the Divine Queen, you are already old, but you don't even understand this truth. Nonsense! The Shadow Guard was furious, and was interrupted by Long Chen when he had just finished speaking. You also know that he is talking nonsense. I killed him just to verify his words. Since you, Lord Shadow Guard, can't stay calm, didn't report to the clan leader, didn't report to the clan council and directly attacked me. Why do you ask us to do what you can't do? The Bai family has mobilized all its masters to surround and kill us, and they want to kill us all. You only saw us killing them, but you didn't see how many sons of our Luo family died tragically at their hands. The louder Long Chen spoke, the angrier he became. Every word he said was like a sharp sword, leaving the Shadow Guard speechless and unable to say a word. Nonsense, how many of you died? And how many of us did you kill? Bai Yingxiong was sealed and unable to speak, and an elder of the Bai family stood up and said angrily, That's right, you only died more than 1,000 people, and we died more than 40,000 on the battlefield, and here is even more. Another elder of the Bai family shouted excitedly. But halfway through, he suddenly felt something was wrong and quickly stopped talking, because the first half of the sentence was equivalent to exposing the fact that their Bai family attacked and killed the disciples of the Luo family. Although everyone already knew what was going on, there was room for maneuver for some things as long as they didn't admit it. The Bai family is a master of lawsuits, good at eggplant stirring gourds stirring eggplants and making trouble and muddying the water, and finally receiving a little punishment without any pain. It is precisely because of this that the Bai family has become more and more insidious and more presumptuous. After the last incident of Bai Wanan, they did not restrain themselves at all and directly used more vicious means. What do you mean only more than 1,000 people died? Hearing the elder's words, Luo Ying couldn't hold back any longer and cried out, we didn't provoke you, we just want to practice well, work hard to grow, and want to see the outside world. Before a brother died, he held my hand tightly. Do you know what he said? He said, let me live well, for him to see that vast and boundless world. At this point, Luo Ying couldn't hold back any longer and burst into tears. The disciples of the Luo family, thinking of their dead brothers and sisters, all looked angry. You bunch of beasts, even if more of you die, what does it matter? Can you compare with my brothers and sisters? Luo Zhang roared. Patriarch, please be fair and let us fight to the death with the Bai family. We will fight to the death with the Bai family. My Luo family is willing to fight to the last man. Luo Yanfeng shouted. The Luo family is willing to fight to the last man. The Luo family is willing to fight to the last man. The disciples of the Luo family roared loudly, shaking the sky. Countless years of humiliation made the disciples of the Luo family completely explode. They didn't even know what happened, but they knew that no matter what happened, they and the Bai family were mortal enemies. Once the war started, it would be a fight to the death, and there was no need for a reason. Facing the hysterical roars of the Luo family disciples, the old patriarch sighed in his heart. The grudge between the Luo family and the Bai family finally reached an irreconcilable point. Long Chun, say something. The old patriarch took a deep breath and said to Long Chun. Although Luo Zichuan was the strongest among the Luo family's strong men and had the strength to fight against the strong men in the late stage of the Divine Queen, the old patriarch knew that only Long Chun could resolve this crisis. At the same time, he secretly cursed the Shadow Guard for being stupid. At this time, he was still adding fuel to the fire. The Shadow Guard's actions just now almost scared him to death. If Long Chun detonated the charged dagger regardless of everything, the entire Purple Blood clan would be finished. Even with the war god drum, there was no way to suppress it. At least none of the disciples of the two clans on the battlefield would survive. This guy is still living in the glory of the past, and still uses the old tricks to deal with Long Chun. The key is, who is Long Chun? How can he let you manipulate him? At this time, lowering your posture and speaking softly is the only way out. Like him, blindly being tough will only make things develop in the worst direction. And just now, the dagger in Long Chen's hand trembled rapidly, and the old patriarch's heart was almost scared. If it weren't for the fact that the Shadow Guard status was equal to his, he would have cursed. It was agreed that I would come, and you didn't interfere. Now he is confronting Luo Zichuan, making it difficult to get off the tiger, and the scene is extremely embarrassing. At this time, the old patriarch looked at Long Chun, and everyone's eyes also looked at Long Chun. At that moment, everyone's heart was in their throats. The words of this young man will affect the survival of the two families. Long Chen's face was gloomy, looking at Bai Yingxiong in the distance. His eyes were full of cold, murderous intent. If you want a ceasefire, no problem. I have only one condition. Say. The old patriarch already had a bad premonition in his heart, but he still bit the bullet and spoke. Everyone in the Bai family, regardless of age or status, whoever participated in the attack on my Luo family disciples, whether they took action directly or conspired behind the scenes, will be executed. Long Chen's cold voice resounded throughout the square. As soon as Long Chen finished speaking, the whole place was dead silent. Everyone looked at Long Chen in shock, including the people of the Luo family. Although they hated the Bai family and shouted that they wanted to kill all the Bai family members, it was just a slogan after all, and it was not realistic at all. The old patriarch would never allow them to do this. In the end, they had to return to the negotiation table. It was nothing more than the old tricks, bargaining, and finally reaching a result that both parties could accept. In fact, although the cause this time was the Bai family, Long Chun led Luo Yanfeng and others to kill the Bai family directly, which was no longer reasonable. According to the result expected by the Luo family, it was the best result that neither side would hold the other responsible. Because the Bai family had already lost a mid-stage divine emperor, and Long Chun had also killed nearly 100 elders of the Bai family. For the disciples of the Bai family, millions of them died. On the other hand, Luo Yanfeng's team had not died so far. After all, Luo Yanfeng and others were the strongest among the strong. The top strong men of the Bai family had been killed by Luo Yanfeng and others, and were hidden by the Bai family. Most of the Bai family disciples in the square were second- and third-rate characters. At first, they dared to attack because they saw that Luo Yanfeng had few people. As a result, they looked powerful, but they were all sent to the battlefield. When a large number of Luo family disciples arrived, the disciples of the Bai family were able to resist at first, but soon it became a one-sided massacre. The Bai family lost 100 people, while the Luo family lost only 1 or 2 people at most. The Bai family suffered heavy losses this time. The Luo family members expressed indignation. The young disciples were naturally indignant, but half of the old generation of Luo family masters were acting, with the purpose of gaining more bargaining chips for the Luo family in future negotiations. By then, as long as the patriarch did not hold the Luo family responsible, the world would be peaceful. However, Long Chun proposed this condition which scared the Luo family masters. Long Chun had no intention of negotiating at all. It's a big joke. So many people in my Bai family died. And you actually have the face to propose such a condition, little beast. An old man from the Bai family cursed. Puff! As soon as he finished cursing, Luo Zichuan pointed a finger, and a purple light shot out, piercing his head directly. Like Long Chun, Luo Zichuan hated this kind of address the most, because it was equivalent to scolding Long Chen's parents and even his grandfather. At the moment Luo Zichuan made his move, the shadow guard opposite him was a little embarrassed. He confronted Luo Zichuan, and Luo Zichuan actually shot and killed the elder of the Bai family. This was clearly a contempt for him. At that moment, a pair of fiery red eyes appeared on his transparent face, and ripples appeared in his eyes. Luo Zichuan immediately felt a terrifying pressure coming. Luo Zichuan held the long knife with both hands, and the power of his blood slowly burned. Endless flames rose from his body. He was ready to fight desperately. Everything Long Chun did was instructed by him. No matter how big a mess Long Chun made, he would take it, even if it meant eternal damnation. Long Chun, you are making it very difficult for me. Seeing that the shadow guard was on the verge of exploding, the old patriarch sighed and said, "You don't need to be embarrassed. Today I want to tell everyone in the Purple Blood Clan that not all conflicts are resolved at the negotiation table. Every life should be respected. We are not pawns, let alone bargaining chips. Today I will eradicate this cancer for the Purple Blood Clan, and I will cure the poison and scrape the bones. This pain must be endured." Long Chun said coldly. The so-called embarrassment of the old patriarch was that Long Chun bid off a sky-high price and did not give them any room for bargaining. Blood debts must be paid with blood. Today, I will make the Bai family pay with blood. Long Chen's face was grim, and his eyes were filled with murderous intent. What a big tone. What if we don't accept it? The shadow guard finally couldn't help it and said coldly, "Are you deaf? Am I negotiating with you in my tone? Today I'm putting my words here. No matter who it is, no one can protect the murderer of the Bai family. If the old patriarch doesn't give the Luo family justice, then I, Long Chun, will be the bad guy." Long Chun sneered. "Ha ha ha ha." The shadow guard laughed in anger. "I want to see what confidence you have to dare to say such arrogant." Boom! Long Chun waved his hand. The void exploded. The 9 heavens were pierced, and an ancient bronze tripod supported the world. At that moment all the ways collapsed, all the laws retreated, and the heavens and the worlds all trembled. The war god drum that had originally blocked the battlefield made a thump and was directly squeezed out by the ancient bronze tripod. The ancient bronze tripod was like an emperor descending from the divine artifact. The war god drum was shocked by its aura and couldn't help but tremble in front of it. "Come on! Keep laughing!" Long Chun summoned the Chenkuan tripod, and the shadow guard's laughter stopped abruptly. When he saw the Chenkuan tripod, his eyes widened. His originally transparent body gradually appeared under the power of the Chenkuan tripod. It turned out that this shadow guard was actually an old man covered with scales. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The Chenkuan tripod trembled, covering the sky, and its power radiated to the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Even the old patriarch and shadow guard in the Queen God stage felt like ants in front of the Chenkuan tripod. This is... At this time, the shadow guard couldn't laugh anymore. He was horrified because he recognized the origin of this ancient tripod. It was precisely because he recognized it that he was horrified. Whether it was the shadow guard or the old patriarch, their hearts were beating wildly. Although the shadow guard had said that Long Chun had a treasure that could block his visit, the grade of this treasure was amazing. However, no one expected that this treasure was actually the legendary chaos artifact Chenkuan Ding. Although they had never seen Chenkuan Ding, they had all seen the illustrations of Chenkuan Ding, and the pattern was exactly the same as the one in the illustrations. The most important thing was that who else could make the war god drum stand in awe? "Do you still regard my words as a joke now?" I said. "I am not asking for your opinions. Either you do it or I do it myself. In short, today all the participants of the Bai family must die. The person I, Long Chun, want to kill, even if the Emperor of Heaven descends, he can't save him." Long Chun looked at the shadow guard with a cold voice. At this time, the shadow guard was completely stunned, and he dared not argue with Long Chun. Luo Zichuan also looked at the Chenkuan Ding above his head. He was shocked and excited. One of the legendary 10 chaos artifacts was actually in the hands of his grandson. No one would not be excited about that kind of honor. When the Luo family disciples looked at Long Chun at this time, their eyes were full of admiration and awe. In their eyes, Long Chun was a godlike existence. Luo Yanfeng and others were excited, but also felt lonely. That moment, they seemed to be from 2 different worlds with Long Chun. The huge gap made them feel that Long Chun was so unattainable that talking to him was even a blasphemy to him. "Forget it. Everything is up to you." At this moment, the old patriarch sighed helplessly, and the faces of Bai Ingxiong and others changed all of a sudden. "Want to kill me? Dream on. The Bai family will never sit still and wait for death." Seeing that the old patriarch had compromised, Bai Ingxiong was shocked and angry, and roared with a distorted face. "I really don't want you to sit still and wait for death. Really, struggle hard. Struggle to the end. And you must persevere to the end." Long Chun looked at Bai Ingxiong, and a sinister smile appeared on his face. At this time, all the disciples and elders of the Bai family gathered beside Bai Ingxiong. At this time, their faces were no longer arrogant as before, and some were full of fear and confusion. They seemed to be in a nightmare. How could the Luo family, which had always been cowardly, suddenly become strong and terrifying? The square was littered with corpses, and 99% of them were from the Bai family. The bloody smell told them that this was not a dream, but real. The strong men of the Luo family had also gathered together. They were led by Long Chun and faced the Bai family. One by one, they held their weapons in their hands. As long as Long Chun said a word, they would rush over and fight desperately. Luo Zichuan held a long knife and looked at the shadow guard coldly. Although the old patriarch had already sided with Long Chun, the shadow guard never made his position clear. Luo Zichuan could only stare at him. The 2 families were on the verge of a war again. Seeing this, the other Purple Blood clan warriors all sighed in their hearts. Why is this so? With the enemy at hand, can't the Luo family give in? What's going on? Can't we wait until the war with the demons is over? An old man couldn't help but speak. Ha ha ha. Hearing the old man's words, Long Chun laughed in anger. The Bai family has bullied the Luo family for countless years. Were you blind at the beginning? Why didn't you let the Bai family give in? The Luo family has been making concessions for so many years. Now there is no way to retreat, but you still want us to make concessions? Is it because we are used to making concessions? We have been forbearing again and again, but what we get in return is endless humiliation. When one day we can't bear it anymore, we will become bad people without a sense of the overall situation. The old man was blushing and argued. You have been forbearing for so many years. Can't you bear it again? You know, we are fighting a great war with the demons. Shut your stinky mouth. Long Chun was furious and cursed. You old man, don't fucking fart. There is a kind of generosity called generosity to others. If you keep talking nonsense, I will kill your disciples now and see if you can bear it. You! The old man was so angry that he was shaking all over, but Long Chen's eyes were sharp and murderous. He was a man who was not afraid of anything. If he dared to provoke him again, Long Chen would really dare to do it. The disciples of his clan were so scared that their faces turned green. They almost cursed at the old ancestor. Why the hell did you provoke him for no reason? The Bai family was so powerful that they were killed in pieces. Our clan was not enough for them to press a finger. Isn't this courting death? Originally, many strong men from other clans wanted to come out and plead for mercy. It was not because they had a good relationship with the Bai family, but because they were at war with the demon clan at this time, so it was not appropriate to waste their time. But when they heard Long Chun scolding the old man, they all shut their mouths. After all, even the old patriarch had to compromise on this matter, and their advice was useless. Bai Ingxiong, you are going to ruin the Bai family forever. The old patriarch looked at Bai Ingxiong and said, Old man, you are unfair and opportunistic. You are unworthy of being the head of the clan. At this point, Bai Ingxiong had completely torn his face and cursed the old clan leader. Facing Bai Ingxiong's scolding, the old clan leader looked lonely and shook his head and said, I promised Long Chun in order to leave a little bloodline for your Bai family. If you insist on your own way, the Bai family will be burdened by you and may be wiped out. As soon as the old clan leader said this, countless strong men present suddenly realized that it was no wonder that Long Chun had asked Bai Ingxiong to stick to it, so that Long Chun would have an excuse to uproot the entire Bai family. Long Chun snorted coldly. The old patriarch was instructing Bai Ingxiong, but Bai Ingxiong was selfish and greedy. How could he stand up and take responsibility? Long Chun held the long sword and took a deep breath. The power of dragon blood flowed wildly in his body. His eyes were like knives, and the fierce murderous aura locked Bai Ingxiong in an instant. The moment Bai Ingxiong was locked by Long Chun, he felt his soul tremble and his hair stood on end. With the blessing of Chen Ding, his divine emperor's pressure was ineffective against Long Chun. Puff! Suddenly a sharp sword pierced out from Bai Ingxiong's chest. At that moment, even Long Chun was stunned. He never thought that the person who shot was actually an elder of the Bai family. The elder took advantage of the moment when Bai Ingxiong was locked and attacked him from behind. Bai Ingxiong looked at the long sword on his chest with disbelief on his face. Master, you can't be so selfish. You want to drag so many innocent people down before you die. The elder looked painful. Bai Yang, are you crazy? The elders of the Bai family roared and rushed towards him at the same time. Master, I'm sorry. Boom! The elder of the Bai family actually used the power of his bloodline to detonate the magic weapon. With a loud bang, he and Bai Ingxiong exploded into powder at the same time. The elders who rushed towards Bai Ingxiong were unable to dodge and were covered in blood. At that moment they were all stunned. Ancestors, we are innocent. We did not participate in the conspiracy to massacre the disciples of the Luo family. You are responsible for your own actions. Can you please not implicate us? So many people have died in a confused state. Isn't this enough? We don't know anything. We don't want to die. Please, for the sake of our descendants, please do me a favor. At this time, the disciples of the Bai family wailed. They were not fools. Through the conversation, they roughly knew the ins and outs of the matter. The key is that none of them knew what happened. At this time, facing death, they were completely terrified. Long Chun was so powerful that even the old patriarch had to compromise, and Luo Zichuan was even more capable of confronting the shadow guards. What could the Bai family use to fight them? If they continued to resist, it would only give Long Chun an excuse to kill them all. In the previous battle, people had seen what it meant to be ruthless and cruel. Long Chun had completely scared them of killing. A group of Bai family disciples knelt on the ground, crying and begging the elders. The elders looked at Long Chun and the old patriarch again, and finally realized that the situation was over, and they put down their weapons one after another. However, they did not commit suicide, but waited for their fate. First, they did not have the courage to commit suicide, and second, they still held a glimmer of hope. At this time, the elite disciples who participated in the siege of the Luo family disciples all appeared. Bai Tianxing and others had ashen faces. They fled back, but they could not escape this disaster after all. The moment they appeared, Luo Yanfeng and others immediately gnashed their teeth, and the enemies were particularly jealous when they met. All the elders and disciples who participated in this incident were pulled out, because Long Chun made a promise that if the Bai family dared to harbor a murderer, they would kill all of them. Although this was a threat, the people of the Bai family did not dare to gamble, and in order to survive, the people inside the Bai family reported and exposed each other, and no one escaped. In the end, more than 20,000 disciples who escaped from the battlefield, as well as dozens of core elders, appeared in the square. At that moment, the whole place was dead silent. Long Chun looked at Luo Zichuan, and Luo Zichuan said, "Let me do it!" Buzz. However, at this moment, the divine light on the war god drum was agitated and shone on the square. All the bodies in the square trembled, and all fell to the ground, becoming corpses. Old Patriarch. Luo Zichuan was stunned. Long Chun wanted to do it himself, but he felt that he would not stay here forever, so it would be more appropriate for Luo Zichuan to do it. If he did it, people would think that Luo Zichuan was not manly enough. He was afraid that the Bai family would retaliate in the future because he had to let his grandson do it. Luo Zichuan would be the head of the Luo family in the future. If he did not even have the courage to kill his enemies, the Luo family would not say anything on the surface, but they would eventually leave a bad impression in their hearts. Now that the Luo family has fought with the Bai family, the hatred has completely erupted. If he still hesitates, it will seem too cowardly. Long Chun has killed countless people, and he doesn't mind killing more. After all, the Bai family brought this upon themselves, and they can't blame others. However, Long Chun still feels that if his grandfather takes action, he can establish more prestige, make the Luo family more united, and at the same time deter other families, killing two birds with one stone. However, he did not expect that the old patriarch would take action first. Long Chun was stunned at first, and then a complex look appeared in his eyes. Long Chun and Luo Zichuan looked at each other. They didn't expect that the old patriarch would eventually stand on the side of the Luo family. The top disciples of the Bai family were all killed, along with the patriarch and the core elders. The Bai family no longer had the glory of the past. In the future, they would probably have to live in fear in the Purple Blood clan. Long Chun, we will remember this grudge. A Bai family disciple roared. His roar scared the other Bai family members out of their wits, fearing that Long Chun would kill them all in anger. Long Chun said coldly, "Remember, forgetting hatred is equal to betrayal, just like the countless years that the Bai family has bullied our Luo family. So many geniuses in our Luo family died inexplicably. Do you really think we don't know who did it? Do you think others are fools? Sooner or later you will have to pay for what you did. Today I am just asking for the principal and interest back from you, the Bai family. The previous things have been written off with the affairs of Bai Ingxiong and others, but if you want revenge, it's okay, we will open a new account book. I, Long Chun, will never have the slightest mercy on my enemies. Don't give me a chance, otherwise." At this point, Long Chun waved the long sword in his hand, and the long sword was stained with sticky blood, which splashed out. Clang! The long sword was sheathed, and the lingering sound lingered in the sky, and it didn't dissipate for a long time. The sound was like the cold whistle of a god, and it seemed like the whisper of a devil, and it seemed to carry the painful wails of the elders who were beheaded. Long Chun did not continue to say anything, but the sound of the sword had already said it all. That is, if you force me to give you a chance to root out the evil, I don't mind. The shadow guard disappeared with a gloomy face, and Long Chun also took back the Chenkuan Ding. In fact, Long Chun summoned it out just to scare people. Cannot directly participate in the battle, but Long Chun does not need it to fight. Just to suppress the war god drum is enough. Because the old patriarch will not take action, only the shadow guard will take action. But according to Long Chun's estimation, Grandpa's strength is not worse than his. Moreover, Grandpa is in his prime, and the shadow guard is obviously weak. As long as Grandpa can withstand his first wave of fierce attacks, he will win. Besides, he has the Magic Clan's charged magic weapon in his hand, and Long Chun does not believe that he dares to force it too hard. So this shadow guard is a stick, although he is powerful, but his brain is not very good. Even if Grandpa is slightly inferior in strength, Long Chun still has the Demon Moon Cauldron, the Heaven-Flipping Seal, and Hualinger in his hands. Especially the Heaven-Flipping Seal, if he secretly hits him with a brick, the shadow guard may not be able to defend against it. Long Chun has so many trump cards in his hand. If he still has to make concessions to the Bai family, then he might as well die in humiliation. Forget it. In fact, Shadow Guard also knew that this matter was the fault of the Bai family. The Bai family should indeed clean up, but Long Chun's methods were too cruel and his attitude was too arrogant, which made him uncomfortable. But he couldn't help it. The other party's strength was there, and he couldn't really kill him and fight with Luo Zichuan. Otherwise, how could he say that his brain was not working well? In the end, he left with a belly full of anger. The strong men of other families couldn't help but feel uncomfortable when they saw this scene. Although the Bai family had their own faults, this kind of internal friction was really unacceptable, especially at this critical moment. All the major families led their people and left. They were all in a very heavy mood. This battle had a great impact on the morale of the Purple Blood clan. The disciples of the Bai family were either terrified or angry, and some people were stupid and didn't know what to do. Finally, under the reminder of others, they began to collect the bodies on the square. The elders of the Bai family also ordered the square to be cleaned up, but were stopped by the old patriarch. No need to wash, we will be moving soon. After hearing what the old patriarch said, the Bai family left. Seeing that the old patriarch had not left, Luo Zichuan winked at Luo Yingchen and others. Luo Yingchen immediately understood and left with the Luo family. For a while, only the old patriarch, Long Chun, and Luo Zichuan were left in the huge square. Old patriarch, why are you doing this? Everyone in my Luo family is responsible for their own actions. Why do you have to intervene? After everyone left, Long Chun couldn't help but speak. Originally, whether it was Long Chun or Luo Zichuan who took action, this matter had nothing to do with the old patriarch. When they entered the legendary Emperor Mountain, the Bai family would definitely complain to other branches of the Bai family. This kind of thing cannot be covered up. But even so, it had nothing to do with the old patriarch, but the old patriarch took action to execute the Bai family, and this responsibility would probably fall on half or even more than half on his head. Therefore, the old patriarch took action, which shocked Long Chun and Luo Zichuan. The old patriarch smiled bitterly and said, I am incompetent and have no choice but to be the patriarch. I have been working hard to balance the grievances of the major families and have been waiting. As long as I can bring everyone into the Emperor Mountain safely, my mission will be completed. But now it is about to be completed, and it still makes such a mess in the end. Alas, to put it bluntly, it is all my fault. If I can be tougher and stricter with the Bai family, maybe they dare not be so presumptuous. The Bai family's fault is also my fault. How can I evade responsibility? Old patriarch, don't say that. Lord Yingchen has always said that you have been taking care of us in secret for so many years. Otherwise it would be a problem for our Luo family to continue. After all, at that time, the ancestor of the Bai family was still there, and you couldn't do anything about them. We understand your difficulties. Luo Zichuan hurriedly said. At that time, the Bai family also had a strong man in the Queen of Gods period, so even the old patriarch was afraid of it. Later, the ancestor of the Bai family died suddenly for some reason, but the Bai family did not announce it, lied that the ancestor was in seclusion, and still used the ancestor's signboard to be domineering. Although the old patriarch noticed something was wrong, he did not expose them. He only secretly helped the Luo family when the time was right, so that the Luo family would not be so sad. The old patriarch shook his head and said, "Now is not the time to talk about this." Boom! At this moment, there was a loud noise, and the entire territory of the Purple Blood clan shook violently. The demon army has come out in full force and has surrounded this place. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Another alarm sounded, and the Purple Blood clan's warriors gathered again. When they saw the boundless demon clan warriors outside the barrier through the barrier, the Purple Blood clan's warriors all felt their scalps tingling. How could this happen? We just lost so many warriors, and they're coming to kill us. The Purple Blood clan's disciples looked at the boundless demon clan army outside with horror, and their bodies couldn't help but tremble. The Luo family's warriors quickly gathered and joined Long Chun as soon as possible. When they saw the boundless god emperor-level demon clan warriors, they suddenly felt like they were falling into an ice cellar. These bastards really know how to find the right time. Luo Yanfeng and others gritted their teeth. They had just experienced a series of battles, and before they even had a chance to breathe, the demon clan came to kill them. The most terrifying thing was that their god emperor-level army alone had hundreds of thousands of people, while the Purple Blood clan had only a few thousand people at most, and those non-combat god emperors had to be counted. The other levels of the demon clan were even more boundless and incalculable. This time, the demon clan came out in full force and directly surrounded the Purple Blood clan. Ha ha ha! The human race is so stupid. At this time, they are still fighting among themselves. They really don't know how to live or die. Someone in the demon clan spoke up. The person who spoke up was none other than the three-eyed old man of the demon clan. At this time, he was holding a golden staff, wearing a white bone helmet, and his old face was full of smug smiles. They had just given an order to prepare for a general attack on the Purple Blood clan in 3 days. Unexpectedly, the opportunity came only half a day later. On the battlefield, the Luo family and the Bai family fought a bloody battle. Although Long Chun killed those peeping demon clan masters, this kind of thing could not be concealed from people. When Long Chun killed the Bai family, he triggered the alarm, and the masters stationed on the battlefield all withdrew to the clan. The demon clan was like a hyena, smelling the opportunity and killing directly. However, when they first arrived, Long Chun and the others were still fighting. They did not fight directly, but built a formation around them to surround the entire Purple Blood clan. The so-called formation is the underground blood river. Purple blood is a treasure in their eyes. They want to transport all the purple blood to the altar and use the purple blood to create a group of the strongest demon warriors. I said no internal fighting. No internal fighting, now it's good. The old man who had advised Long Chun to show mercy before couldn't help complaining. Pa! However, just after he finished complaining, Long Chun slapped him in the face through the air and sent him flying. Long Chun said grimly, "Get out of here if you are talking nonsense. If you are 58, you are 40. Don't fart here. If anyone is afraid, just go back and hide. Today's battle will be borne by my Luo family." Long Chen's words immediately caused an uproar among the strong men of other clans. The Luo family wanted to fight the demon clan alone? Is this crazy? However, many people think that Long Chen was just speaking in anger. The old man's complaint at this time is really annoying. 9 Queen God stage, that's a bit too much. Luo Zichuan looked at the battlefield and frowned. Although he was in the early stage of the Divine Emperor, he was not afraid of facing the Queen God stage one-on-one. He could also be considered as a Queen God stage fighter. There were only 3 of this level of fighters in the Purple Blood clan, namely the Old Patriarch, the Shadow Guard, and Luo Zichuan, while the opponent had 9. In the middle stage of the Divine Emperor, there were more than 20 of the Purple Blood clan, but more than 400 of the Demon clan. As for the early stage of the Divine Emperor, it goes without saying that the gap is even greater. There is no need to mention the disciples below the human emperor realm and the heavenly saint realm. According to the ratio, it is probably 1 to 10,000. The plan cannot keep up with the changes. The killing points we have collected now can only activate some of the runes on the demon ceiling map, and can only weaken their strength by about 20% at most. The rest depends on us. The old patriarch sighed and took out a scroll. The scroll was densely covered with strange runes. When he saw the runes, Long Chun had a vague sense of familiarity. The origin demon rune? Long Chun was suddenly startled and blurted out. That's right, it's the origin demon rune, the divine map of the origin demon clan to suppress the demon clan. Before, I asked you to collect killing points, which was actually to absorb the blood and soul power of the demon clan to activate this demon ceiling map. Originally, according to my plan, after the tentative attacks of both sides ended and before the general attack, the blood and soul power collected could activate more than 50 runes, so that they could suppress nearly half of their strength. Unfortunately, now only more than 20 runes have been activated, which can suppress their strength by 20% at most. The old patriarch said. At this time, the shadow guard suddenly realized that it was no wonder that the old patriarch had been so sure of winning. It seemed that he had such a powerful trump card in his hand. Unfortunately, this plan was interrupted by Long Chun. The old patriarch was also very helpless, but there was nothing he could do. If I kill those demon clan masters now, can I quickly activate the demon ceiling map? Long Chun asked. It's too late. The conversion of blood soul power takes a certain amount of time. Now we can only fight hard. The old patriarch shook his head. It's enough to weaken by 20%. I can fight 1 against 3. I don't know if the rising star of our Luo family can show the domineering attitude just now. The shadow guard said coldly. Obviously, until now, he still has a grudge about Luo Zichuan and Long Chun. If you can do it, I will definitely have no problem. Luo Zichuan said lightly. You! The shadow guard was immediately furious. What do you mean that if I can do it, you will have no problem? Do you mean that you are stronger than me? Master Shadow Guard, how old are you? The old patriarch couldn't help but ask. The shadow guard stopped talking immediately. The old patriarch meant, how old are you, and you are still arguing with a group of children. Can you be a little more profound? If you can hold on to the 9 late-stage god queens, then the remaining god emperors will all be handed over to me. Long Chun said. When Long Chun said this, the 3 were shocked. Luo Zichuan was about to speak, but Long Chun said, Grandpa, don't worry. After all, we are not frogs at the bottom of the well. Who are you saying is a frog at the bottom of the well? When Long Chun said this, the shadow guard jumped up and down, and Long Chun's words were heard by the whole audience. Everyone was angry. Some of them could not accept Long Chun's words. Don't get angry. I'm not targeting you. I'm saying this to all the Purple Blood Clan members who have never left this land. Long Chun said. You! The shadow guard's nose was crooked with anger. Long Chun's words were equivalent to scolding everyone except Luo Zichuan's lineage. This is not an insult. I am telling the truth. Long Chun said calmly. Of course I know you are not convinced. I will use facts to prove that you are indeed frogs in the well. Because you are about to see a wider sky. As someone with purple blood flowing in my body, I have the responsibility to teach you a lesson. Buzz! Long Chun's figure swayed and disappeared from the crowd. When he appeared again, he was already outside the barrier. Puff! Long Chun was seen holding a brick and slamming it hard on the head of a demon leader. Blood splattered and the demon leader's head was directly smashed. What?